Nice to save up to 85% on your monthly bill? Well, you got to call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family owned, woman owned local company that uses top of the line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800 281 3189. That's 800 281 3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
What do you mean we don't have those numbers?
Bruno Sports Analytics startup lost its math whiz to the competition.
In order to stay competitive, we have to have this.
Now he needs a new statistician to even the score.
I don't even think these predictions are the most current. I mean, this is.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Does your company need bonds? Hi, this is Dave McKee, president of Constructors Bonding, inviting you to learn how our team can deliver better bonding than any competitor anywhere. Our relationships with every major surety get you the credit you need fast, and we never stop working to exceed your expectations. Call me personally at 602-432-5929. That's 602-432-5929 to learn how Constructors Bonding is your solution to better bonds.
Your favorite radio station.
And now you're up to date on the news. Stand by for weather and traffic right after this.
It wakes you up, starts your day, and keeps you informed as well as entertained.
You guys are absolutely the best.
How do you like to work here?
At The Fanatic, we're looking for commissioned sales reps to knock on doors, set up appointments, and extol the benefits of advertising with your favorite radio station. Send your resume to jobs at 1580thefanatic.com.
Sun Devil fans, it's rivalry week in Tempe. Sun Devil football hosts the Arizona Wildcats on Saturday, November 27th at 2 p.m., presented by Coca-Cola. The Sun Devils are looking for their 5th straight Territorial Cup victory, including last year's dominant win in Tucson. It's also Senior Day, so arrive early to honor the 2021 senior class and help keep the Territorial Cup where it belongs, right here in Tempe. Get your tickets today at sundeviltickets.com. That's sundeviltickets.com.
Does your company need bonds? Hi, this is Dave McKee, president of Constructors Bonding, inviting you to learn how our team can deliver better bonding than any competitor anywhere. Our relationships with every major surety get you the credit you need fast, and we never stop working to exceed your expectations. Call me personally at 602-432-5929. That's 602-432-5929 to learn how Constructors Bonding is your solution to better bonds.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
Yeah, and I got this new fish oil I'm taking. I need to burp it up all the time. Oh, hi, everybody. It's the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Ralph from Harmon Solar with us. We got Keon pushing the buttons, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. I mean, I'm not even kidding. It's like the old fish oil tablets I took, nothing. Yeah. These new ones, everything tastes like carp. I'm not even kidding. I was eating some Ritz crackers, and I'm like, they put fish in it? No, it's just me. I'm like starting to emanate, I guess. Anyway, enough of that. Hi, everybody. What is today? Oh, it's Thursday. That's right. Today is Thursday. We're going to do our NFL fan pick'em picks. We've also got Siege coming later on in the program to answer your fantasy football questions. We are past the halfway mark, and raise your hand if your team does not have a tie. Thank God. Thank God. Thank God, everybody. So before we get into all the football stuff, let's talk about what happened last night. Last night, the Suns won their 10th game straight, beat the Mavericks, and ugly start, strong finish. Frank the Tank wasn't out there, and it was a while before they even scored 1 point. But after that, they got their act together, and that was cool. Mavericks and the Suns play again Friday night. So, that's great. Great to see 10 wins in a row by the Phoenix Suns. It's a nice thing. How are your Lakers doing, buddy?
Oh, wow, it just goes right there, huh?
Well, I wasn't really paying any attention to the fact that they're 8-8 and the Suns are 11-3. I wasn't even noticing that the team seems to be in complete disarray. And anytime LeBron James isn't there, they lose. And it was almost like, didn't they bring in a guy who was supposed to take care of that? And now maybe he's not going to be there anymore. I'm just saying. And didn't you just get your butts kicked in by Giannis Antetokounmpo? I mean, seriously, if you ever get his name in Scrabble, that would win the game. And I'm just saying, you got beat last night, 109-102.
All I can say is it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So I'm not worried, and that goes for every sport. So it's not how you start the season, it's how you finish the season. So we'll see. I'm not worried.
How'd you finish last season?
Injured.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of what's going on right now for your Lakers.
So I'd rather be injured early than late. So we'll see.
You got to schedule that.
Yeah, you have to schedule the injuries.
Sure.
Yeah, it helps.
But the Suns doing all right, I guess. I mean, any complaints other than it was a super ugly and slow start, guys?
Yeah, it was a slow start. My biggest complaint has to be just I think when they fall behind in games, I think they shoot way too much to try and get back out of it. And you've got, I thought Ayton was playing pretty well at a certain point, but they just kept chucking up the threes and it started to work and started falling. But
a lot of times that is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. I mean, you can always get back into a game shooting threes, but as anybody who's watched enough Golden State basketball can tell you can shoot your way right out of it.
Live and die.
But they were able to get back into it. I thought Booker was consistent the whole game. And then Chris Paul was ineffective for 3 entire quarters of basketball.
Missed his first 9 shots before he finally made a shot in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm. And then he took over in the fourth. It wasn't just the one shot. It was a few other ones. There were some great passes from him too. But boy, that was a game where the shots weren't falling early, but they started to hit late.
There has to be a formula where I've seen teams, like you say, Golden State and others, they'll start bricking all these threes. And you're like, please stop. Please stop with the 3, go in and get 2. And then maybe next time go in and get 2 and then keep scoring rather than bricking every possession that you have. But, I'm not a coach in the NBA. And I guess the best recipe for getting out of the funk is to shoot away and, get that shot back. And thank God it worked last night.
How about DeAndre Ayton, though, putting up another double-double? He had 19 points, 13 rebounds. 10 of those rebounds were defensive rebounds, so he was clearing the boards on the defensive side. He only got 3 offensive rebounds. I mean, I'd like to see that go higher. But
work on it.
How about DeAndre Ayton coming in there and helping this team when everybody else seemed to be a little flat?
He had 1 rebound last night. We talk about the effort that you always talk about, Jeffrey, from him. He was between 3 Mavs players, and he just kept tipping the ball up until eventually they just all quit because he's 7 feet tall.
He's the only one who can get it.
Yeah, like that took a lot of effort. He turned not the game in that moment, but there was a run that the Mavs were on, and he ended it.
The highlight reel, though, you saw that where Chris Paul is floating and literally levitating out of bounds and pump fakes and passes, and DeAndre Ayton gets the monster dunk. That right there was kind of fun to watch. But when you go back to that stat line, as Randy pointed out, still not quite as effective on the offensive boards as we'd like to see.
And I don't know. I want to know if this is a Monty Williams thing, because I actually saw most of the game last night. He starts to take off the moment that shot is taken, like he's going back on defense. And I don't know if that's what Monty wants him to do or if that's just an effort thing. I can't tell.
It's a good question. Don't know. You'd have to ask Monty that. Anything you want to say about the Lakers, or just
aren't we talking about the Wizards? The Wizards are off to a great start.
The Wizards are fantastic right now. I don't know what to make of
What's
that.
your record over there?
10-4, I believe.
Wow, that's better than the Lakers, who are 8-3 and not winning hardly anything on the road.
It's just Ralph tried to give me some props, and Jeffrey was like, "Nope, we're not turning away from you, Ralph."
I just tried to deflect, and it didn't work.
No, he's locked in.
It's fine. I mean, it means nothing right now. It's what, 16 games in.
That's what losing teams always say. But Wizards, good for you, Keon.
Do I need to bring our 16, 17 banners to the studio so you can look at them? Or
No, that was then. What have you done
That
for
was
me
then.
lately?
Yeah, I mean they're
That was 2
antiques,
years
Ralph.
ago.
They're antiques, Ralph. We don't want anything to happen to those.
And when was the last time the Suns hung a banner that actually had a championship on it?
Yeah. Well, we haven't yet.
They
So
got
I
a
won't.
big
I won't
footprint
bring.
hung up, though.
I won't bring them. I won't bring them to the station
Yeah,
because
yeah,
that was then. What have you
secretive.
done for me lately?
It was secretive. Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't want to talk about it.
All right.
Big George says, "Hello, gentlemen. Happy Thursday. Hey, how about them Suns? And first time since April of 2010, they've won 10 in a row. This team's on fire. It really looks like it's going to come down to the Suns and the Golden State Warriors in the West.
Well,
Go
everybody-
Suns!
I pump the brakes, please. There's a long season ahead.
Not for the Lakers.
I've got news for you. I have a feeling the Suns will probably lose this streak in the next game because they just didn't look that
How
good.
dare you.
They didn't look so strong, and they finished okay. They had some help from JaVale McGee. They had some help from Cameron Payne. But Chris Paul really didn't do a whole lot for the team. He only had, 7 points? Did he have 7 points? Yeah, he had 7 points. I'm looking at this. He had no steals, no blocks. He had no real rebounds to talk about. I think he had 4 and 4.
It's like on the Monty Python, though. I got better.
Yeah, no,
I mean-
Randy's right about that. I mean, if you looked at that game, there's plenty to worry about. Like Chris
Yeah.
Paul looked as old last night as he's probably ever looked.
And maybe he's pacing himself. I don't know. He did have 14 assists, and maybe that's what he's focusing on with this young team that can shoot. But still, we paid him $110 million. Where's our return on investment?
Well,
I wonder if DeAndre Ayton's thinking the same thing.
he's had some big games so far this year, Chris Paul. So I don't want to write him off just yet. What I'm worried about with the contract that they gave him is what happens in that year 3. Because that's when he's going to be. I don't know. I don't think we're going to see the Chris Paul then that we do now. But right now, I think he could still play.
Keon, let's talk about the now. Okay. Now is what matters. Ralph, let's talk about the now. Now is what matters. You and all your banners and trophies. Hey, Crypto Center. Huh? How about that Crypt Center? How about the Crypt Center where all your old ass players play because soon they'll have to crawl into a crypt at the Crypt Center.
I like the Crypt Center versus the Footprint.
Yeah, the Foot Fungus Arena is
Yeah, I
bad.
mean,
That's the Foot Fetish Arena is
They both suck.
suspect.
I mean, if you think about it, both names suck.
Yeah. Yeah, I miss the old America West Arena. That's what it used to be back in the day. And of course, it'll
Forum.
always be the Staples Center, I guess. Yeah, I guess you go back to the 80s, the
I go back
Forum.
to the Forum. I love the Forum. Fabulous Forum.
I wish these teams would do this. The Forum brought to you by Staples. The Forum brought to you by Crypt Keeper, whatever. And Phoenix Suns Arena brought to you by. Why can't they just brought to you by? Why does it have to be named after that? Because I just miss the the classic names of some of these stadiums and arenas.
I think when you give them how many hundreds of millions of dollars, you get to name
Yeah.
whatever you want, right? So
You
it's all
can-
about the money.
You can name me. I don't care. I'll be the Summer's Eve Jeffrey O'Brien. I have no shame. Just give me some money. We'll do that thing.
Summer's Eve.
That's I don't care. I don't care.
I can see that.
Cowboy Sparky says, so are the Devils losing to the Beavers? No. Beavers are first in rushing in the conference. ASU defense up for the challenge? Yes.
ASU's defense, the problem with it is the penalties. Like that as we have discussed.
It's no problem, Keon. Shut up.
Billion
Yes.
times on this show. They it's not about them being
Yeah.
able to stop the run. They can. They can play the run. They can play the pass
If they
incredibly
play,
well.
if they play disciplined football, which they have not been doing lately, they can play good football, but it's like they're just kind of floating through life right now. And quite honestly, I said it yesterday. I'll say it again. I'm very concerned about the end of this season. I'm very concerned, especially about the Territorial Cup against U of A. I am concerned that is ASU going to lose to U of A. Now, remember, you heard it here. That you can give me the grief if they dominate the U of A. However, remember what I said.
Well, you just supposed. You didn't even state. So either you state they will lose or you state
I'm
they
not
will
going
win.
to state that. I'm just saying I am concerned that the Sun Devils are not going to go and play this game this weekend with any sort of fire and vigor. They're just going to go walk through life because somewhere they have locked in their heads that they're better than they actually are. They haven't shown me anything this year. They've
All right.
shown me nothing.
Reality check. Good chance they lose to the Beavers. Zero chance they lose to you, Arizona.
Well, I
Zero.
don't know about that. I don't know about that.
It's do they beat them or do they absolutely destroy them is the question. Like,
I,
if they-
want destruction. I want them to close the schools the next day.
we all
You
want
guys,
destruction.
we lost to Utah. Okay, we should have won that game, right?
The
You
Mormons
agree with
have
that?
magic underwear, Randy. You
but
can't
the
fight
bottom-
against the magic underwear.
U of A, who is 0 or has 1 win on the season, and that was against a decimated Cal team that had COVID, injuries, tree fungus, whatever the hell else they had going on there with the Cal team. They won against Cal, and they put a 29 spot up on Utah. Now, you tell me, if this team suddenly realizes that they can actually play football and put points on the board, and then you've got a game that they have nothing to lose here. They're not going to a bowl game. They're not going to any postseasons. All they have is a territorial game. You mean to tell me that you're not even one iota concerned the Sun Devils might lose this game against U of A?
No, not concerned. Not going to happen. Can't happen.
I
Can't
hope you're
happen.
right. I hope you're
0%
right.
chance. I can't even accept it.
I'm not even a homer. I just don't think it's possible.
I hope you both are right.
Yeah,
Because
don't,
Ralph and I have doubts.
Yeah, I don't. How
See,
are you?
I brought this up 2 weeks ago.
How are you an ASU hater too?
Oh, I'm not at all. But it's a rivalry. Anything can happen in a rivalry. I mean, what's ASU?
I mean,
playing for?
with all due respect, not any Texas and Rice are technically rivals.
What?
Rice never wins. That game happens very frequently. Technically,
Never heard of Texas and Rice being right.
Texas and Rice play all
Great.
the time.
Now I'm hungry for
Yeah, but
rice.
I agree with you, but that's not like Texas, Oklahoma.
Ooh, Spanish
I mean,
rice.
Some
That-
Spanish rice.
that's
would
a
be
big
nice.
Yeah, but those two teams are closer
Chicken,
together.
some of that
Yeah.
seasoned
I'm
chicken.
just saying in terms of you Arizona
Good
right
stuff.
now and where they are in
Spanish
football.
rice. Ooh, and some tortilla
not
chips.
Yeah, they're not listening.
Oh,
They're too busy.
what?
Tasty.
Did you guys? I'm sorry. What?
Well, because Randy could just go on a food tangent by himself, and so I just feel like we just have to do the sports show past it. Because,
Food.
Now he's just bringing up food.
oh,
The
I
hell's
shouldn't have
going
said
on here?
anything.
ASU shall defeat the Chalupas. That's it. Period. End of story.
I hope
And that's
so.
all we need to say.
That is my hope among all hopes. However,
I don't know
I'm
how
not-
Ralph can come in here
not
ready,
sure.
armed to the teeth to say that his Seahawks are going to win the game
Oh,
this
my God.
weekend and then be doubtful that ASU couldn't put the hurt on you, Arizona, right now.
Okay, so we've talked Lakers.
Mhm.
You want to talk USC too? We could talk USC. I mean, they suck this
No.
year. We can talk about
Wow.
them. No,
I'm just saying,
you know,
you
Kings,
can't
I mean,
doubt ASU. Wait, your team's USC?
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
what happened to
That's
USC
his
with
alma
Arizona
mater.
State University?
USC lost their coach. They're full. That's I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. But you do want to talk about the Seahawks. So,
I absolutely want to talk about the Seahawks when we get there. Yeah, but
spoiler alert,
spoiler alert.
he
Yeah.
thinks they're going to win. All right, let's get to the text line. Mr. Pringle says Suns 10-game winning streak. Sarver should be owner of the year. Oh, stop.
Oh, Lord.
Hefty Lefty says, welcome back, Ralph. Not sorry about the Sea Pigeon struggles, but glad you're smart enough, Lakers fan, to not worry about the expected slow start.
Yeah.
Absolutely, smartest thing I've heard all day.
Yeah, I'm still gonna have fun with it. Mr. Wilbur says, doesn't Ralph have some solar panels to install instead of killing us with his nonsense about the Lakers? Next thing you know, he'll be telling us how his Seahawks are going to prevail this weekend as well. By the way, this text came in at 3:07 before I said anything.
Before you said
Yeah, they're already on to you, buddy. Mars Bars 805 says, happy Thirsty Thursday, guys. Suns in 4, right, guys? 805, please, and go Lakers. Yeah, he's
Suns in 4.
Oh, he's giving us a hard time. He's a Lakers fan. That's his
yeah.
thing. Big George.
Oh, you mean how many games it took us to defeat the Lakers last year in the playoffs? Oh, I think that's right. Yeah, 4 games. Wasn't it 4 games? Yeah.
See, he was mocking us for what we said. Suns in 4 against the Bucks. But
Oh,
it
yeah.
was 3.5 games against the Lakers.
Well, I think it was 2
Lakers
games.
walked off the court in the middle of the last game. They're like,
Well,
you
yeah.
guys are too good for us. We quit. Big George says, Randy, why are you being such a Debbie Downer? Your team has won 10 in a row. Chris Paul's a big part of that. Enjoy the moment. Suns are only 1 game out of first place in the Western Conference. Be positive when there's positivity flowing through
Well, I
these
mean, I'd
Phoenix
like
Suns.
listen, George, and you know that I am an Arizona guy. I'm a homer when it comes to my Arizona teams and the Phoenix Suns. I want to see them win. But the way they've been playing last night and the game before last night, it doesn't look like they're going to continue. I have a feeling the next game they face against Dallas, who just faced us, and remember, it's like a back-and-back game against Dallas. I have a feeling Dallas is going to break that streak. I just call it Call it Randy's intuition.
Sure hope not. Sure hope not. Watermelon says, Jeffrey, not a fan of U Arizona or ASU per se, but how about a nice little bet? I'll take U Arizona and you take ASU. Bet will be for 1 pint of Guinness at the first remote. Virtual handshake. You got yourself a bet, Watermelon. Done.
All right.
Done
There
and
you go.
done.
All right.
Watermelon. I'm sorry. Moist one says, come on, Jeffrey. You have horrible homer takes when it comes to the Colts. You can't make fun of Randy for having doubts. My homer takes, they're not homer takes, they're anti-homer takes. It's called realism. And I can have the only place I'm having a hardcore homer take is going
Michael
to be ASU versus U Arizona. Everything else, I can be realistic. Didn't you hear me say, all right, I'll give you the Beavers. The Beavers might be a trouble, but there's no way ASU can lose to U Arizona. So I'm taking that bet from Watermelon. Boogie says the Territorial Cup. What do you think the point spread's going to be? Like minus 48?
I think it could be close.
It'll be in the 20s.
I think it'll be higher. ASU will score like 77 last time. So
I hope so.
I
hope so.
I'll take the over. Good Cat says ASU is still scoring on my mild kitties. Good Cat's an ASU a very fan. And
ASU is playing very uninspired football right now. Very uninspired indeed.
they'll be inspired for that game. Senior Wake and Bake says, sup, cool guys. The Devils will fork them Beavers. Here's hoping. Dr. Maxter says, Beavers are really tough. You should be concerned. As a matter of fact, Jeff Foxworthy knows a Beaver bit that bit a guy's nipple off.
Uh-oh.
I think that's not the same kind of thing. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Heavy Metal Maniac says, did someone just say Beavers? Beavers. Boomer Sooner says, good day, gentlemen. Yeah, I used to watch the Lakers back in the Forum way back in the day when they wore the purple and gold letters and numbers and stuff. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very cool.
Lacrosse guy says, just got back in my truck. What? A remote? Where? When? Where? No, you're just saying when we do one. Take it easy, Lacrosse guy. Swave Dave says, happy Thursday, guys. On my way to the dentist. Oh, dear God. Pour me a shot of mouthwash, but save me a beer for later, please. Done and done. Number one Rattlers fan says, am I allowed to change my texter name from number one Rattlers fan during the off season to something else? I'll go back to it in March. But no, we know you as number one Rattlers fan, but I'll bite. What did you want to change it to?
And I'm sorry about all those guys resigning. I got that memo, that press release that a whole bunch of offensive guys resigned today.
Huh?
Really sorry about that.
I did not see that.
Yeah, you said that the kicker resigned, the linebacker resigned, a bunch of offensive guys resigned. They misspelled resign. They put a hyphen in between the re and the signed. Yeah.
That's sad. Well, good.
Really sorry about that.
Glad it's just a typo and not something bad for the Rattlers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these guys resigned. I mean, I don't know what Coach Guy's going to do.
Well, I'll explain to you during the break.
Okay.
When we come back, we a little more other sports stuff. We got to get into the NFL. We got to do our Harmon Solar NFL fan pick'em picks, and we'll do that. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brett Musburger's Action Update. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now, you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now. Here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The top 7 in the college football playoff remain the same this week. Right now, Georgia minus 2,000 to make the playoffs, way out in front, with Ohio State at minus 170, Alabama minus 135, Oklahoma plus 240, Cincinnati the 5th best odds at plus 250. Thursday night football, the Atlanta Falcons at 4-5, hosting the Patriots at 6-4. Atlanta a 7-point home underdog plus 250 on the money line. New England minus 300, the over/under 47. College basketball, Arizona State on the road tonight against San Diego State. The Sun Devils an 8.5-point underdog. Arizona will play tomorrow night in Vegas against Wichita State. Both teams undefeated. For vsin.com, I'm Trey Westerberg on Arizona's sports betting station.
Bruce Jacobs here to tell you there is no doubt that Harmon Solar can save you up to 85% on your monthly electric bill. That's a fact. But did you know it's possible to get solar for zero down? You can lease, finance, or even purchase outright. They have plans that fit everybody. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned, local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar at 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go online to harmonsolar.com.
providing you with the latest sports news, commentary, and analysis.
So I am holding out, much to the chagrin of my dad. Don't be greedy. My agent said, so here's the deal. We're all right with the signing bonus. We'll get a little more there. But what we're fighting for is the third year and $20,000 on the third year.
What does your father say?
When it was all said and done, good job.
Jacobs and Helly on Arizona's new home for sports. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. All right, so tonight, 6 p.m., you got the Patriots at the Falcons. That starts week 11 here in the NFL. Before we get to talking all them football things, let me just finish up a couple of things. I was going to say how happy I was. First, Suns won. And second, Lakers lost. And third, GCU won last night. That's right. They handled their business with Prairie View A&M. And Holland Woods had a nice night with 25 points. And they never were in doubt, I think, in the entire game. Right, Keon? I mean, they just kind of went off on them and put their hands on their foreheads like a little midget. And they swung away, but there was no choice. GCU was winning that thing 91-64.
Yeah, I mean, at halftime, it was a 5-point game, if you can actually believe that. But it's sort of like when you kind of let your little brother almost beat you in arm wrestling before you just whack his hand on the desk or whatever. That's where they were. I mean, the 3-point shooting for GCU last night was actually insane.
Yeah,
it was so insane. It's a school record. 17 made threes last night. It's the most in GCU basketball history.
Wow. So
this could be their best 3-point shooting team ever.
Yeah, and they're deeper than ever too, as far as talent goes on that team. They have a embarrassment of riches for. I mean, I'm not to put a dig, but for a team in the WAC conference, they're looking really good right now. And how do those two guys from ASU? How are they doing over there?
From what I understand, they're doing pretty well. It's a pretty big rotation that they have because, like you said, they're very deep. Very few teams, I think, in the WAC or any mid-major conference really is capable of running out a team of guys where you could go 9-10 deep.
If you have Randy up, you might want to pull him down. He lost his signal, and that's. Are you back, Randy? Are you back?
I am back.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
Back.
Yeah, there was some weirdness there. We were just talking about how GCU wiped the floor with Prairie View A&M last night.
Hey, and congratulations to GCU. Did you see that Power Slam made it to ESPN's plays of the night?
Yeah, there was a massive. Yeah, it was a big dunk in that game.
Really?
I'm trying to remember
That's
exactly.
Awesome.
It was in the second half. I can't remember exactly who did it, but it was like a stolen pass, fast break, monster dunk.
It was somebody named Jones Johnson or something. I forget his name, but boy, he got the ball and he took off at about the mid-stripe, and Jones Johnson just put the ball whammo like that. It was amazing.
Did he do the antelope kill call on the way in?
Oh no, he can't. No, he can't do that.
That'd have been awesome if he did.
Only wild antelopes can do the kill call.
And you.
Yeah, well, I am an outdoorsman.
I'm not going to make you do that early in the show. That'll mess up your throat. But hey, by the way, guys, I have GCU tickets to give away. I have 4 GCU tickets. Now, here's the way this is going to work. I'm going to say right now, I'm not saying later, I'm saying now, caller number 3 at 888-368-1580. You can have your choice of 4 tickets for this upcoming Monday when Wyoming is actually visiting here. I was worried about GCU visiting Wyoming because that's where the Caldera is. Yeah. And I was really worried
about that yesterday. Yeah.
But you can do that, or you can take 4 tickets for Life Pacific, California when they come to town next Wednesday. So I got your GCU tickets. If you want to go to a game, you want 2 tickets, you want 4 tickets, whoever is calling in and getting them, you get them. And if you want 2, I give you 2. And then we give the other 2 to somebody else. Or you out 4, take the family. I don't care. I don't care how this works, but let me just say this. If you go, you're going to have a blast because it doesn't even matter what happens on the court. There's always some entertainment on the court, but the havoc, the crazy crowd there at Grand Canyon University, that is a show all by itself. It's insanity. I guarantee you a good time. if you go to any GCU game. So just give us a call, 888-368-1580. Caller 3 gets your choice of either Monday or Wednesday tickets to go see some fun. So simple as that. Okay, so now I'm glad you're here, Ralph, because Randy, wait, it's not dig.
You're glad I'm here. You've been digging for the first 20 minutes. Let's
Oh,
keep
boy.
digging.
Well, I've tenderized you. Now
You
we're,
tenderized me.
now we're ready to go. Well, you walk in and I'll talking all that Seahawks crap. I got to do that.
I mean, you know.
So Marcus Stroman, he's cited his reasoning for not going to the Yankees is he doesn't want to cut his hair.
Wow.
He wants to wear his do-rags. He doesn't want to change his appearance. And there's another reason he doesn't want to go to the Yankees, but that's the first one right there. Second is he's never forgotten. He's never forgotten what was said about him by the general manager, Brian Cashman, when they were talking about where he was going before. He says, well, we were interested in Stroman, but we didn't think he would be a difference maker. We felt he'd be in our bullpen in the postseason. That never sat well with Marcus Stroman. So, but the thing that he doesn't want to cut his hair or cover up his tats. That's the main reason.
It's probably not. Is he saying that's the main reason? Because I bet you it's probably a big reason. I would think that maybe what Cashman said might be a bigger reason.
I think so.
The bottom line is that organization's full of douchebags. I mean, I don't like the Yankees. I'm with you. Me and you are right on with this one. They say a lot of bad things about a lot of players. They did that with Ken Griffey Jr. years ago too. It really did some things to him that he was like, I would never be a Yankee ever. If it was the last team on earth, I would never play for them. So no, I applaud him. If he doesn't want to cut his hair or cover his tats, he shouldn't have to. That's who he is. And they should take him for his talents, not for his appearance. And that's just my opinion.
When are the Yankees going to let go of that whole thing? Now, I'm not saying people should go out there and just go crazy and look ridiculous and look silly.
Right.
But if somebody has their own style of hair, whether it's choice or cultural, if they have tattoos, if they have long hair, short hair, whatever, as long as somebody's just taking care of themselves and clean,
right?
What does it matter? What does it matter to the Yankees?
Show me a baseball player today that doesn't have a tattoo. It's very rare. Most of them do.
They're wearing long pants and long sleeves most of the time. Well,
I just think it should have nothing to do with choosing a player. I mean, a player should be allowed to, like you said, as long as he doesn't look a moron out there.
Yeah.
I mean, he should be allowed to basically be who he is.
You know, with their shirt all untucked and flapped, or their hat on upside down or whatever. I mean, what do you think, Randy? I know you're the old curmudgeon when it comes to the classicness of baseball. Marcus Stroman, what do you think of his deal there, man?
Well, I think that Marcus Stroman should not have to cut his hair if he wants to wear his do-rag or have his hair a certain way. He should be able to do that. He's a ball player. He's worked hard to get to this level. The Yankees, however, have their standards, how stupid they might be and how they might eliminate themselves from having certain guys on their team. But I remember back in the day, Johnny Damon won a world championship with the Boston Red Sox. He had long hair. Yeah. He was one of the unkempt bunch that was a Red Sox. And then he became a free agent. The Yankees signed him and bammo, he cut his hair. But they've had guys on that team that are not not on the straight and narrow. What was that big pitcher? I can't think of his name. He was the big dude, and he always had his shirt kind of undone. It's right on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of. Anyway, he went out there. He was a decent pitcher. They didn't make him adhere to. He had the top button or two of his uniform always unbuttoned. So I think that Marcus
Ricardo Montalban.
No, it was not Ricardo Montalban, and it was not tattoo. So don't even go with that tattoo either.
Oh,
but I mean, they've had guys over the years that have not been, the straight and narrow type. I think I don't own the Yankees. That's their thing. That's their standard. I personally don't think it's something that you need, especially in these days and times. Like Ralph said, a lot of guys have tattoos now, or they have a certain hairstyle. I mean, are you going to eliminate yourself from a whole core of talented players because you have these standards about appearance? It doesn't seem right to me.
You're talking about Bartolo Colon, right?
No, you're talking about David Wells.
David Wells. David Wells. Exactly right. David Wells.
That's I only know that because King Kittens just said David Wells.
David Wells. Thank you very much. Again, Fourth Dimension, thank you for bailing me out. David
Good
Wells.
Cat brings up CC Sabathia, too.
Yeah.
CC Sabathia. Yeah. I mean, he had his hat kind of on sideways and everything. But I mean, look, Marcus Stroman, be you, man. Go out there and,
No, that's
and
Matt
do
Nagy.
what you do. What?
Yeah, that's Matt Nagy, BU. Just
I
saying.
see what you, I see what you're saying, but
We're going to talk about him later.
I'm not going to let that derail me. Yeah, Marcus Stroman, be Marcus Stroman.
So
and
here's
go and do your thing.
Here's the thing about Stroman and anybody else. You're right. You're right. And I don't know why I'm even thinking about this. If the Yankees want to have a standard, that's our standard. We always talk, it's the cost of doing business. You can go there or you don't go there. You can work there or not work there. It's a right to work league, I guess, right? Okay, fine. So why am I complaining about this? Why do I care what the Yankees do? The fact that they have limited themselves in bringing in talent. You stick to your guns, Yankees. You don't take no hippies in there. Oh, you get them hippies out of there.
Well, and I mean, Buck Showalter is like that as well. Buck Showalter, he doesn't allow the players to have facial hair. He just doesn't. He finds that, you need to be neat shaven every day. And again, Buck Showalter's not a manager. However good he might be, he's not a manager in baseball in today's game, because guys, come on, man, you got to kind of evolve with society. You got to kind of evolve with what's going on with these people. I mean, back in the day, these guys had these huge, mutton chop looking sideburns and these giant mustache. That's the way these guys looked out there. Are you gonna eliminate some of these guys out of the Hall of Fame because they had these giant mutton chop sideburns? Come on, man.
Yeah, Yankees, you do you, okay? You be you, Yankees. You keep going. Yeah, I think you should have all sorts of restrictions on everybody. Yeah, don't listen to all them Weasley liberals and panty waists. By God,
the
Lord,
is that what it is?
The Lord God loves a good, clean-cut kid, and He's going to give you a championship for your efforts.
Oh boy,
you stick to those guns, Yankees.
How many of the Yankees back in the day were a bunch of drunks? I mean, think about
Oh,
that.
yeah.
But they looked well kept.
They looked good. They were just drunk half the time. But
Yeah.
they won, I guess.
We want a clean-cut looking kid in those mugshots. Okay.
Well, Mickey Mantle was famous for going out and partying all night, showing up at the ballpark and playing, and then going out the next night and partying all night long. I mean, that's the way it is, man.
Yeah.
So let's talk some NFL.
We got the tickets.
Oh, okay. Who's got the tickets?
Number one Rattlers fan.
Hey, number one Rattlers fan. Good for you, man. How many is he? You want 2 or 4?
You wanted 4.
Which day?
Monday.
All right, here it is. We'll give those over to you, and he'll have to come pick them up. These aren't electronic. He has to come pick them up at the radio station.
Okay.
I don't think he knew that.
Yeah, he needs to know that.
He's listening.
It's not like it shouldn't be a deal breaker. I mean, these are tickets. Come get them. Yeah, make sure you tell people that. I probably should have told you that.
I thought you were you're not going to deliver them. You should bring them.
No,
I'm so used to our digital tickets that I blanked on.
Sorry about that.
Oh.
Nope. Yeah, it's. Did you get his phone number?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We'll have to let him know that. Anyways, congratulations. 888-368-1580. So, all right, let's get a little NFL news stuff in before we do our picks. May actually affect where you go with your pick. Kyler Murray, it was in practice yesterday, but he was officially limited. That's what they're saying. Kyler Murray limited. Colt McCoy also banged up, but he was there as well. They're saying he's pretty close to playing. Any new developments on Kyler Murray? Have they made a definitive statement? Yes, indeedy, Speedy, he will play, or hell no, we don't want to break him until after the bye week.
Nothing right now that I've seen.
I say play him because it's just the Seahawks. Anyway.
I say play him, so there's no excuses, but yeah.
So here's the rest of your team. DeAndre Hopkins is still listed with the hamstring. I don't know if he's going to play. They got Corey Peterson has a shoulder issue. Justin Pugh has the calf problem. Tanner Vallejo has a knee issue. Jonathan Ward's got the concussion protocol. Safety James Wiggins has a little knee tweak. He didn't practice. Those guys didn't practice. Buda Baker's got a heel problem. Eno Benjamin, groin. Tight end Daryl Daniels has a shoulder problem. And Michael Dogby, knee. Max Garcia, Achilles. And Jordan Phillips, they were all there, but limited. So these guys aren't out. You just got a dinged up team right now, Randy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, it's that time of the season. Everybody's dinged up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, good God, look at Baker Mayfield.
Have you guys played the Seahawks yet this year?
No.
No, this will be the first game.
You're going to play them twice, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I really want Kyler Murray to play this week.
Me too.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want you to have time to find defensive players on free agency.
I hope he plays.
Poopy Pants, Lamar Jackson, he did not practice. He has an illness. They say it's not COVID, but I'm sure it's the Poopy Pants. He's got the Poopy Pants again.
Yeah.
I think he's got
Pretty sure.
Crohn's disease. I think that's what it is. Those commercials for those prescription drugs where the mom's constantly ducking into a bathroom. That's Lamar Jackson. He's got the Poopy Pants. In fact, I think that's what they should call it on those commercials. You have the Poopy Pants. Well, if you have the Poopy Pants, take non-Poopy Pants, the Poopy Pantser. I don't know what the name of the pills are. Anyway, so yeah, he did not practice. They are saying that Cam Newton is looking to be the starter, and this is sort of sad. Cam Newton has given away 50 tickets to the game because he wants the Panthers to reclaim that stadium. Those may be the only 50 people in attendance. Carolina Panthers. But yeah, so here's what I think is funny is that he gives these away and the people sell them to the people on the other team.
Yeah.
That would be magic to me if that happened. All right, well, it's time for a break. When we come back, let's start up our NFL fan pick'em picks. We'll catch up with you guys on the text line and other things. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This Movember, here's to mustaches in all their glory. To the first peach fuzz ones, the lopsided ones, the unexpectedly sexy ones, to the black, brown, and red ones, to the stately salt and pepper ones, to the ones grown by the men we love, the ones grown for the men we love, those with us today and those never forgotten. A mustache in Movember is a powerful thing. It helps raise funds and awareness for men's mental health and suicide prevention, prostate cancer, and testicular cancer. So rally a crew, friends, family, co-workers, and take on Movember together. And there are plenty of ways to get involved in Movember, even if you can't grow a mustache. Help us change the face of men's health. Go to Movember.com and let's get this hairy party started. That's Movember with an M as in mustache.com. Movember is a registered 501c3 organization.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for healthcare. And here's why. Not only is it time for open enrollment for a lot of people, it's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For the typical family, switching to MediShare saves about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people. Think what you could do with that. But if you join right now, MediShare is waiving their new member fees. So that's another $170 you'll save. And MediShare is really different. It's a community of Christians who share each other's healthcare bills. More than 400,000 people are members, and they've shared over $4 billion in medical bills. So yes, they can handle your bills too. This may be the time to make the switch. Join before November 30th for the additional savings. It's so easy to find out more. They're great to talk to. In fact, you can get a price within 2 minutes. Here's the number. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
FanDuel Fan Fest is coming to Scottsdale, and you can be there for free. Don't miss your chance to hang out with sports legends and see live performances by Griffin and Nelly, plus play games and win prizes. Enjoy delicious food trucks, kick back in the beer garden, and a whole lot more. To get your 2 free tickets, place any bet of $20 or more at FanDuel Sportsbook app.
New to FanDuel? Sign up now by going to FanDuel.com/AZFanFest, and you'll get a risk-free bet of up to $1,000.
FanDuel Fan Fest. It's the hottest party in sports. Presented by Lionsgate American Underdog, and it all goes down Saturday, December 11th at West World of Scottsdale.
Just visit FanDuel.com/AZFanFest to get your 2 free tickets now. That's FanDuel.com/AZFanFest.
21 plus and present in Arizona. Opt-in required for existing users. Refund for new users is issued as a non-withdrawable site credit that expires 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/FanFest. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342.
I'm here to tell you about a technological shocker. Believe it or not, you can listen to us on your smart speaker.
That's shocking.
Wow.
What a world we live in.
All you have to do is say, listen to 1580 The Fanatic.
David Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Thursday night football, Patriots at Falcons. That is coming up at 6 p.m. Here on the big radio station. All right, this is the time you've all been waiting for. It's time to do our Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em picks. And remember, even though you might not be in the running for the $1,580 grand prize or the $500 second prize brought to you by Harmon Solar, you can still win the weekly prize and get yourself a cool NFL jersey. And we had a winner every single week since we've been doing that. And it's a lot of fun seeing what people pick for jerseys and stuff. Some are funny. Some are just like their favorite players. Some I know are smart assery because you wouldn't buy that jersey with your own money, you know, maybe if you got it for free. So I think it's great. But anyway, you go over to 1580thefanatic.com, click on that first thing there that says Harmon Solar and all the instructions on how to join up and do the weekly picks right there. You can do them for bragging rights with us. You can do them with the chance to win yourself a cool NFL jersey. Okay, so that's what we're doing. Let's get this thing started. Where should we start? How about tonight's game? The New England Patriots are visiting the Atlanta Falcons. And boy, one team doing better than expected. The other team doing about what we expected. Let's talk about the New England Patriots and the Atlanta Falcons. Ralph, who do you got on this game?
I'm really surprised about how well Mac Jones is playing. I like what I see in that kid. He's going to be something special. I think this game, it really goes good for New England. The Falcons, not a great rushing team. Patriots, great rushing defense. They're going to be relying on Matt Ryan to have a game, and he just came off his worst QB game in his career. I think this game is all New England, and I think New England wins it by about 10 to 13 points.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's do or die for Matt Ryan. And just when you think though he's out, he comes back and he has a competent game. But I can't, in good conscience, choose the Falcons on this one. The Patriots are heading in the right direction. I'm going with them. Randy, who do you got on this one?
Well, last time that this game was played in the Mercedes-Benz Dome there, we know what happened.
Whole different team.
Atlanta got up early, and then they choked it away in the second half. Belichick's not going to let the Falcons beat the Patriots in the Mercedes-Benz Dome. Give me New England and take the over.
All right. Dion.
I guess I'm going to have to agree here because the Falcons are so bad defensively. I mean, they're dreadful. I just don't see how they beat New England with the way that they've been trying to defend people. And also, Arthur Smith is their offensive coordinator. He's supposed to be some kind of wonderkind. How come he can't figure out how to use Kyle Pitts on a weekly basis?
Yeah,
I just don't understand that.
You have Kyle Pitts in fantasy?
I don't.
I was gonna say you sound like somebody who does.
No, I do.
Cordero Patterson is tough and tricky to figure out how to use because if you use him just as a wide receiver, you're wrong. You got to use him in a lot of different places. But Kyle's easy, man. Just line him up outside and let him be big near everybody else.
I need Cordell Patterson to do well because I do have him in fantasy football, and he was doing great for a while, then not so much. Thanks, Matt Ryan. Okay, let's move on to the Is This the Week Bowl. Is this the week that the Detroit Lions get a win against the Cleveland Browns? Now, you laugh, but old Baker Mayfield dinged up. I'm not even sure if he's playing yet. I don't even know if there is
I don't think he's been cleared.
So, is this the week, Randy, that the Detroit Lions beat anybody?
I had a hard time picking this game because the Cleveland Browns defense hasn't done what everybody thought they were going to do. Everybody thought this was going to be a dominant defense in the American Football Conference, and they have not been. And by the way, Baker Mayfield, if he hurts one more thing, I think they're going to have to let him stay out of the game because that would make every single joint on his body that has been injured this season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his neck is hurt, his shoulders hurt, his damn knees hurt, his sacroiliac is hurting, his butt muscles are hurting, his toes. So, I mean, you can just go down the. So anyway, I have to take Detroit here. They've been close. I'm rooting for Detroit to win this game.
Now, as much as we are all aware that Baker Mayfield has absolutely covered his deductible this year,
yeah.
I can't. I just can't. I can't. Wait, who's the backup for Baker Mayfield?
Case Keenum.
Gonna go with the Browns. I can't do it. I can't go to the crying coach. I can't go to
They don't have their running backs. Their
mouth
defense
breather
sucks.
Goff.
Well,
he may not even
yeah,
play.
maybe
Goff's
Tim
not
Boyle.
playing.
Right.
Yeah, Tim Boyle is playing.
Can't go with the Boyle. You got to go with the Keenum. Yeah, I'm going with the Browns, and
All right.
at least at this moment, I'm pretty sure it's the Browns. Keon, what do you got?
I'm feeling pretty sure it's the Browns too. By the way, I read a report just now that Baker said he plans to play. Don't think the decision's up to you there, Baker. Because even if he does play, he's going to be 20% of himself. He's all, like Randy said, all dinged up in every single possible way. But the Browns can run the ball, and I think that that's going to be a difference maker there. That any time that they've struggled, through quarterback play, Cases or Bakers, they've been able to at least run the football. And I think that against this Lions team that hasn't stopped anybody doing anything, now that'll be enough.
The Shadow is what they should nickname Baker Mayfield. The Shadow. Did I ever ask you about this?
No, but I'll just say the same
Yeah.
thing. I mean, I'm going to go with Cleveland. I'm sorry, Randy. I just don't see it.
That's okay.
I got to
Sorry.
eat some candy. I got low blood sugar. I couldn't remember if I told you if you've gone or not. Okay, so next up on the agenda, whose game should we go to next? How about our Sunday morning game here on 1580 The Fanatic? Old Poopy Pants himself, Lamar Jackson, is heading over to Chicago to take on, who is it this week? Is it still Justin Fields?
It is still Justin Fields. They had the bye week, so we all forgot. We didn't see anything out of the Bears, and it was kind of refreshing.
Nice and quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I say it's still Justin Fields. He's the guy. They want to develop him and go his direction. The Bears are just still really inconsistent, and it's not all Fields. It's a lot of things. That defense is inconsistent. So I'm going to go Ravens here. I feel less confident about it after what happened with the Dolphins, but I'm going to go Ravens.
Yeah.
Randy, what do you think? I mean, the Ravens without Poopy Pants, are they still the Ravens enough to beat the Bears?
I think they are. I think Justin Fields is developing. He's becoming a better quarterback in spite of BU. But I like Keon said, their defense has not been that vaunted Chicago defense, and I think Baltimore is just too good not to win this game. So give me Baltimore.
Thinking about changing my pick over to the Bears. Nothing personal towards what you guys have just said, but Ralph, what do you think?
It's funny you say that because I'm actually thinking that too. I originally took Baltimore, but I don't know what it is about coming off a bye week, being at home. Baltimore's coming off a pretty bad game. You could just see the Bears kind of just come out and play a better game this week and maybe steal this game. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to go with the Bears in this game.
It's going to be hard to watch. But I'm going to go with the Bears as well. For all the reasons we just said. Yeah. Okay, on to the next one. Let's go with a good game. This ought to be a good game. Because why is it a good game? Because we don't know who's going to win. You know how it is. We got all these lopsided victories or these massive upsets. But on this one, they're kind of on equal footing. Talking about the Dallas Cowboys visiting with the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are getting out of their funk. Dallas, they're 7-2, even though there's been injuries and issues and a lot of question marks still about the Dallas Cowboys football team. I think this is going to be a good game. Don't you think?
I do. I think it's one of the best games of the weekend.
All right. So who do you have on that one?
It's a tough one, right? As much as I do not like the Cowboys, I'm just not a big fan of theirs. They have looked so good this year, surprisingly, right? And the Chiefs have just been so up and down. And Mahomes, I mean, obviously last week, the Chiefs, I thought, played phenomenal. They look like them old selves, and they're going to need to look like that again this week to win this game. And I'm going to take the Chiefs. I think they're going to be at home, and they're going to build off of what happened last week, and they're going to beat the Cowboys.
Randy, what do you say, sir?
Well, I think that we saw sort of a turnaround in the middle of the road with the Kansas City Chiefs. I think you saw some things that they've been working on. They want to do offensively, which is give what the defense is giving you. Take what the defense is giving you. I got to go with the Kansas City Chiefs this week. I'm just not a believer that Dallas is as good as their record shows.
Keon?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs too. I think the Cowboys in the month of November, it's really good to see them because usually when the Cowboys are good in November, it means they're actually good. And when they fall apart in November, that means that everything that we saw before kind of a farce. So I'm interested in seeing where they turn with this. But that Chiefs offense attacked the Raiders because the Raiders refused to just drop back in coverage, make Patrick Mahomes throw underneath stuff. It bores him. He doesn't like it. He said on the Sunday Night Football broadcast he doesn't like it. That's the best way to frustrate them. But that's not what the Cowboys do either. The Cowboys, Dan Quinn, that defense likes to get after people, and there may be some opportunities for Mahomes. So I'm going to go Chiefs. But not only is this going to be one of the better games of the weekend, I think it's going to be a shootout.
I am going with the Dallas Cowboys because the defense for the Chiefs, not as good as the defense as the Cowboys, I think. And, Dak Prescott is getting his mojo going. Yeah, I still think that Patrick Mahomes has not quite got his feet under him. He's still a wobbly-legged deer right now, it seems like, after trying to figure out whatever was off at the beginning. And remember, it was great to see them come out the way they did, but remember who they beat. So not as confident in the Chiefs right now as I would be in the Dallas Cowboys. So, all right, next game up, Sunday Night Football. It's Pittsburgh Steelers. They tied with the Lions.
Yep.
Visiting the Los Angeles Chargers, who've been hit and miss lately as well. Randy, how do you feel about this game?
Well, I'm not a believer in Pittsburgh, and I'm sorry. Roethlisberger has been out. You've got what's his name? Old Mason Rudolph, red-nosed reindeer is in there. I love Mike Tomlin. I absolutely love him as a coach. I think I would run through fire and through a wall for the guy. But I got to believe the Los Angeles Chargers, who's fallen on hard times here lately, need to get things turned around. And I think Pittsburgh is right for the pick, and give me the Chargers.
I think the Chargers. Oh, God. Okay, somebody tell me something. Okay, Keon, tell me something about the Pittsburgh defense.
It's okay. It's a very average defense.
I'm taking the Chargers.
JJ, I think TJ Watt is out too. He's got an injured hip.
He's been in and out all year. That defensive line hasn't gotten the push, and part of that is Watt's not always in the lineup.
TJ's out. All right, so Ralph, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think the Chargers, national televised game, they're going to win this game.
Did you say who you're picking?
No, I didn't say who I was picking. I'm going to go Chargers though. Yeah. It's a get right game.
There you go. We all got the Chargers on that one. Monday Night Football. New York Football Giants go to the Tampa Bay football dumb team, according to Bruce Arians, says we're a very dumb team right now. Tampa Bay does that sort of thing around November too, don't they? The coach comes out, says, "Yeah, you're all a bunch of crap," and then Tom Brady says, "We got to try harder." And the next thing you know, they're back to Super Bowl standard. Will that happen again, Keon, or is this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team in trouble?
I think it'll happen again, especially against New York, because that's a team you can get right against. That they are a team that has enough talent that they'll push you, but they're not talented enough to beat you if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I know that they've got a number of injuries in their secondary. Tampa Bay does, and I get that, but they still have all of those big guys up front, Devin White and Ndamukong Suh and so on. They just present so many problems on that side of the ball, and then offensively, that's fine. That part of the game is actually okay. It's just the defense. They give up so many points that every game is a shootout for them.
Now, Ralph, I trust your football knowledge like I trust Antonio Brown's vaccination card's validity. I just wanted to, really, that was mean for mean's sake. I just wanted to just throw that in there that, yeah, Antonio Brown is being accused of having a fake vaccination card now. That just broke a little bit ago. But still, Tampa Bay at home, like it matters, against the New York Giants. You're going with the Buccaneers, right?
Yeah, I think this is a blowout. I think this is even going to be close. Tampa Bay is going to come out from last week and play a lot better this week. Is Gronk back? Do we know? Have we heard?
I have not heard that he's back this week,
because I feel like he's missing. Brady's missing him.
So let me explain. Gronk's injuries are fine, but word is he's trapped in a roundabout somewhere. He's so dumb. You gotta get it out of that circle.
Reported by NBC Sports as of an hour ago, Gronkowski did return to practice as a full participant.
Oh, there you go. He's back.
And I think that makes it. If you look at how they started the year with Gronk, he was on fire at the beginning of the year before he got hurt. And I think Brady kind of misses him, and I think it's a big difference maker for him. So, yeah, Tampa Bay.
Antonio Brown probably going to be out. Then definitely you need Gronk, probably needs to be in. Now, of course, the news on Antonio Brown, is coming from an odd place, and the NFL is going to have to investigate that. But it's a very strange story right there. His own chef, is saying, "Well, yeah, well, he's got a fake vaccination card and he owes me money." So
Oh, boy.
it could be all boo-boo, but well, past history.
And Antonio Brown has a record of not paying people, and people like to get paid for the things that they do. Antonio.
Yep. So
Especially
now
the illegal things that they do.
someone's got some explaining to do. You know what I'm saying? All right, we got a couple more games left to talk about. We got Keon's game, we got my game, and we got Randy and Ralph's game. Should be good. Come on back, kids, and we'll finish up our Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em picks. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears Radio Hour. In the show, we try to teach the tools, rules, and strategies that traders and investors need to do better with their wealth and portfolio income. But most of the time, an hour is just not long enough. At Online Trading Academy, we believe that the average person should be given the tools, rules, and strategies that Wall Street's elites have been using for years to outperform others. Are you one of the millions that have recently established a trading account? Or have you always wanted to trade or take a more active role in guarding and growing your own wealth, but have not had the know-how or confidence? We want to invite you out to a complimentary 3-hour power trading and investing workshop, where you'll learn what it is that the professionals use to limit their risks and maximize their possible gains in both trading and investing. To register, call 8448-TRADER. That's 844-887-2337, or text the word stocks to 25029. Again, that's stocks to 25029. Reserve your seat now.
We all know that when we need service on our vehicles, having a trusted and reliable auto repair center is very important. Hi, I'm Stephen McCollum from the Main Event here on 1580 The Fanatic. And that's why I have all my vehicles serviced and repaired at Friendly Auto Centers in Mesa. Steve, the owner, and his team are experts in auto repair in a non-intimidating environment. Friendly Auto Center is a AAA approved auto repair center and awarded Top Shop winner. Family owned with 19 service bays to get you back on the road fast with reliable repairs backed by an exceptional warranty. Friendly Auto Centers offer a full range of routine auto services, as well as general repairs on any make or model passenger vehicle, RVs, and large trucks. Friendly Auto Centers are located at 5026 East Main Street in Mesa. Give them a call, 480-830-9377. That's 480-830-9377. Find them online at friendlyautocenters.com. Tell them Big Steve sent you.
What do you mean we don't have those numbers?
Bruno's sports analytics startup lost its math whiz to the competition.
In order to stay competitive, we have to have this.
Now he needs a new statistician to even the score.
I don't even think these predictions are the most current. I mean, this is.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know that Constructors Bonding has been Arizona's leader in surety management for over 40 years? Hi, this is Dave McKee, president of Constructors Bonding, inviting you to learn how our team can deliver better bonding than anyone, anywhere. Contractors, developers, attorneys, car dealers, and hundreds of other industries turn to Constructors Bonding for their bond solutions. Call me personally at 602-432-5929 to learn how Constructors Bonding is your solution for better bonding.
Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
This is KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K256 Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240 U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside my heterosexual life partner. are we to know for sure? You know what I'm saying? It's none of my business, but between the team, the NFL, and these medical communities, there's got to be a way to verify that somebody's legit. So I don't think we've heard the last of this, and this is going to open up a can of worms where now everybody's vaccination cards are going to be called into question. Yeah. Last Optimist says employers are not bound by HIPAA. So but again, it's not about whether they are or not. It's about whether or not they get that information off of each vaccination card, type in a thing and verify it to be legit. That is a question for somebody smarter than me. I don't know the answer to that just yet. Joe Flacco's coming out saying, I'm not vaccinated and I ain't going to say why. I'm here to play football. Okay, buddy, at least you were honest. Hey, at least he told us,
exactly.
It wasn't like he was like, hey, I'm immunized. I want to host Jeopardy. Yeah, it's not the same thing. So, okay, Flacco, he's wearing a mask when he does the interviews. He'll be following protocol. And that's all you can ask of a human being. If you want to play, follow protocol. If you don't want to be vaccinated, sorry, but your protocols are going to be stricter than other people's.
Yeah,
that's it.
I do have a lot of respect for the guys that don't want to be vaccinated, follow the protocol, and don't complain about it. They just do it.
I don't think they're bright, but I respect their choices. It's none of my business what they do with their bodies. Anyway, so Moist One says they should be able to scan the microchips that Bill Gates put in there. That'll see if it's legit.
Well, from what I understand,
you know what? Can I just say I wish there were chips.
No, you don't.
I could use an upgrade. No. I'm 51 years old. I'm working on Windows 70, so I could use an upgrade. And then seriously, if I get old and I start wandering around, I should be chipped. I should be chipped so my wife can collect me.
Get you one of those prison chips.
Oh no,
that's fine.
We'll let Jeffrey out again.
Yeah, it's like we're gonna have to electrify your collar, Jeffrey.
Okay.
Moist One, thank you for that. So yeah, more to come, I'm sure, especially now that for Thanksgiving they're getting tighter and stricter on protocols for COVID. I don't know why. You do or you don't. You know what I'm saying? It's not like there's a magical moment. You either have protocols or they're not protocols. So figure out your stuff and get back to
what they're saying is because people are going to be with their families at these gatherings. That makes the difference. I think it's
the NFL could have done a lot of people a lot of favors by saying, don't go around your families. Sorry. It's part of my contract. You guys, see ya. Oh, maybe next year, unless we can get that passed to the CBA where you never have to go back to. Oh my kid, my uncle's weird. Anyway, so Last Optimist says, what about the guys who get vaccinated but don't want to share their status with their employers or public in general? That's very, very specific thought process. I don't know. What do you want me to? You want me to decide everything here? I mean, I don't know, Last Optimist. I mean, it's a different world when you're working in a field that is entertainment and you are handsomely paid. It's a very different situation, and people are betting. People are wagering on what you will or will not do. And now COVID has become part of that narrative. And it's the cost of doing business. If you're an employer, we talked about this in the last hour. If you work for the Yankees, you got to have a haircut. Right. We don't agree with it. We think it's stupid. We think it's a restriction on expression culturally and just by matter of choice. But that is their rule. If you want to do it, that is what you have to do that. So when it comes to COVID, the NFL, whether you agree with it or not, has decided here are the protocols. If you are vaccinated, here are the protocols. If you're not vaccinated, hey, the least you can do is tell the truth. At least the least you can do is be honest in what you are doing, because it does affect somebody else and how they make their own decisions on what to do. It's not just you and your body, it's them and their bodies too. So outside of whatever thought process you may have, agree, disagree, like, don't like, doesn't matter anymore. It is what it is. And these are the rules that we have to follow. So if Antonio Brown, not a surprise, has a fake vaccination card, I'm thinking crayon. I think that maybe will be the dead giveaway.
Was that it?
Well, he didn't forge it, of course. He asked for it. So I'm hoping that the handiwork of somebody else is better than what Antonio Brown would have done himself, which is.
So in the story, the chef was asked by Antonio Brown, "Can you get me a fake vaccination card?"
Yeah, and the chef was basically like, "I know a guy."
The chef's a dirtbag too. Wow. So now you have to call into question the credibility of the chef immediately. We will see what happens with that, but I salute you, Joe Flacco. I think you're probably still concussed after what happened, but that was that Dolphins. Who was that Dolphin that just took his brain out of his head?
Oh, I don't even remember
who was that,
but I know what you're
Kuechly?
talking about.
Yeah.
It was a monster hit.
Yeah, I still remember the way he came up. His helmet was like half on his head. And he was like, "I like drapes. I like drapes. So I have bananas." It's like, poor guy is never going to be the same.
By the way, the vaccination card, how they tell if it's real, the card itself, it can't tell, but your shots are confirmed with a state database.
There you go.
So there is some file somewhere, if depending on the state you got the shot in, that says, "Hey, you were here, you were vaccinated." And if you don't have that, then your card's not real.
It's not the Swedish chef, Big George. He says, "I always knew he was hiding something." No, this is not the Swedish chef. He has nothing to do with it. I've already closed the story, but I'm pretty sure his name was not Swedish. Kane Kenton says, "I wonder if Aaron Rodgers followed Jeopardy's COVID protocols." Well, I mean, they don't have very tight anything. I mean, hey, they'll let sexual harassers in there and produce the show. So, I mean, I don't think they were too worried about anything that Aaron Rodgers was doing. Big George, thank you for that. Senior Wake and Bake says, speaking of how old do you have to be to qualify for the AARP? Ralph?
Why are you asking me?
Oh, never.
I would ask Randy.
Sorry, I just assumed.
Wow. Why would you ask me?
Well, I figured Ralph would be a longtime member, but okay.
Right?
61? I don't know. ARP.
He's only 59.
I'm only 55.
Oh my God, you're old. You're a president older than me. Unfortunately, not a two-term president older than me. Yeah. So how old do you have to be? 50? Just 50 or 55? Who knows?
You start getting mail at 50.
Nobody wants to admit they know. So,
I have no idea how old the AARP is. I think it's 62.
Look at the look at the ill will the Senior Wake and Bake has created with that question alone. Did you look it up?
Yeah, it's 50.
No, it's 50.
Bitch.
That makes you
there you go. You know what though? I'm gonna go get it because if I gotta look this old, feel this old, and be called sir by everyone now,
but what do you
by
get?
God, I don't know. Imagine a discount on the movies. I don't know. I don't know what I get, but I want something. By God, I've been on this planet for half a century. I want a freebie. They're gonna send me some cookies. I don't know what happens. Does anybody know?
No.
Nobody knows. I'm looking at Keon like he'd know.
Yeah.
If you want me to Google it, it's not going to be from any life experience.
Google. What's Google?
Can you talk to the computer internets and let us know? Hefty Lefty. That's pretty good. He says, "Is the next Silver Alert going to be for Jeffrey?" Not the next one, but I would bet on future ones.
Yeah.
If you guys miss me after I retire, you will end up seeing me on the news. I'll make sure that's my. I'm going to do like this on my next driver license photo, like that, and then you'll see me on TV and go, "Oh, he was right." Yeah. Tiger Paws says you don't have to get it sent to you; it's just automatic. Well, nobody sent me nothing.
But what's automatic?
Yeah. She says, then afterwards, there's memberships to stay with it. I guess they don't want me. I guess I don't look 50. They don't trust me. They think my age card is doctored up like Antonio Brown's vaccination card. Just Tip says, good afternoon, gentlemen. In honor of Ralph from Harmon Solar, I would like to remind the blender that today is National Princess Day. Randy, could I get a bottle of poppers with a Gus and Brew back for all the fans of the Flying Shoe? Please and thank you.
Hey, you saw my shirt. All right, there you go.
He says, yeah, Ralph from Harmon Solar used to piss me off with his nonsensical babbling about his teams. Now I get chuckles from listening to him. He reminds me of that. He reminds me of that kid on the playground who no one picks for their team, and he's pouting and stamping his feet, screaming, "But I'm good. I'm good. I swear I'm good." Wow. Just the tip, ladies and gentlemen.
Damn.
We better get back into our NFL picks because
I
the
think we should,
siege
yeah.
the siege will be with us shortly with your fantasy football answers for your fantasy football questions. Okay, so have those questions ready to go up on the text line 888-368-1580. All right, so where were we? I guess this is as good as a place to start as any. One hated team, one pitied team. Carolina Panthers hosting the Washington football team, Keon. And, well, you can tell which one's hated, which one's pitied. Hating the fact that the Carolina Panthers beat the Cardinals last week. Hating the fact that they did it with a good deal of help from former Cardinal kicker Zane Gonzalez, who I remember my wife streaming during that game. Oh, sure, you can make it for them. Or in BA just was running out there and just put his arm around him and said, yeah, don't even pack your stuff. We'll mail it to you. Get the hell out of here. Drive away in your pads. So, all right, I'll let Randy have the first shot at it. Carolina Panthers at home against the Washington football team.
I'm going to believe in Ron Rivera, and I'm going to believe he's going to rally this team because he knows Cam Newton cannot perform as a top-level quarterback any longer, and he knows his tricks. And so he knows how to harass them. Give me Washington in a close one against Carolina.
Close one, huh? All right, Ralph, is it a close one, or is Cam Newton going to come back and earn some more money for some of them grandma clothes, or will Hinkie from the Washington football team step up and be the star stud that he wants you to believe?
I don't think it has
he
anything to
is?
do with Cam Newton. I'm a McCaffrey guy. So I just think that Carolina is just a better team and they'll win this game. And I don't like Cam Newton. I think very bad things of him. But I think they win this game.
Now, here's what I think is going to happen. You're right. Here's what's right. Cam Newton will start the game. Cam Newton will not finish the game. Cam Newton's going to go out there and they're going to remember, oh, crap, he can't throw. He'll hand off a bunch of Christian McCaffrey, but anytime they see him try to throw, they're going to go, dear God, what have we done? And they'll put that other kid back in, and that'll be the end of Cam Newton. Unfortunately, it still means a win for the Carolina Panthers. So Randy said Washington football team. Ralph and I both are on the same team on the Carolina Panthers. Keon, you are the self-hating Washington football team fan. What say ye?
I mean, they shouldn't win any more games. Okay, the season is over. Let's just try and lose some games. Be ready to get Kenny Pickett from the University of Pittsburgh. I like him. I think he's a great quarterback. Or Matt Corral from Ole Miss. That's where I'm looking. So, of course, they're going to beat the Panthers just to spite me because they don't like me to be happy. They don't want any good things to happen to me by nature. Taylor Heineke had arguably the best game of his career last week in a game that means nothing. It doesn't mean anything. But here we are doing this dance again. And the Panthers are a team that are just bad enough that if Washington plays a game that they play like they played last week, where the offense was clicking, Heineke and McLaurin had that connection going, and the defense actually had a pulse. If they play one of those games, I think that the Panthers are just beat up enough offensively that Washington could win. But they shouldn't. But they probably will.
I know the feeling, man. Every time somebody says, hey, the Colts might get in the playoffs, they shouldn't. Please don't. Please let it stop.
Just get a top pick. It's okay.
Yeah. All right. So now on to my disaster, the Indianapolis Colts. Yes, a lot of people would love to have my disaster because they are 5-5. But the disaster part is where they're going to go see the Buffalo Bills. Now, the Buffalo Bills comparable to the Indianapolis Colts. But I don't know. Help me out, guys. Who's going to win that game, Ralph?
I mean, the Bills looked great last week against a really bad team, right? I mean, the Jets, right? So that's not saying much. But they need to start playing better. They need to get more consistent. They need to finish games. Allen needs to be better. He just hasn't been what I thought he would be this year. And I think, the Colts have a great defense. I still like their defense a lot. I hate their quarterback. Love their defense. Love their running back. I think this game is better than you think. I mean, I know it's in Buffalo, but I think it's a close game. I'm going to go with Buffalo to eke it out at the end, but I think it's a really close game.
Randy?
Listen, last week the Bills looked awfully strong against the New York Jets. The week before, if I could just remind you, the Bills didn't score a touchdown. Rather, they had 2 field goals and lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Bills only beat the Dolphins, who were miserable at the time, had nothing going on. They only beat them by like 16 points. That's nothing in an NFL game. And then the Bills lost to the Titans 34-31. This is a toss-up game. And I got to believe the way the Colts have been playing lately and the way Carson Wentz has been leading this team lately and the way that Jonathan Taylor has been running lately, that the damn Colts have every opportunity to win. I'm going with the Blue Horseshoe to upset the Bills this weekend.
God, I hope he's right. Keon, is he right?
There is a shot at an upset alert here for the Colts just because of how inconsistent the Bills have been. And Ralph said it earlier, Josh Allen isn't what he thought he would be. Josh Allen isn't what the Bills thought he would be either, because they rolled up the Brinks truck for him. And he hasn't looked bad, but he hasn't looked like the guy that they paid all of that money to. That's a franchise amount of money that they gave him. So I want to see him turn that around. I do think that the Bills, when Josh Allen is playing well, though, I think that they are a bit better than the Colts. I'm going to go with the Bills.
All right. Well, I am the self-hating Indianapolis Colts fan, as you guys know. And a lot of you guys with lesser teams hate that I can't seem to be positive about my team. So we're going to go with that, picking the Bills. I'm sorry. It's just anytime the Colts face up on a good team, it goes bad. And I hope you're right. I hope it's a close game. I hope it's a good game. But I am tired of getting my damn hopes up. So I'm picking the Bills. And if that's a double reverse jinx, I'm okay with that. I'll take the loss in my picks to get the win for my Colts. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should change my picks to the Colts. I'm going to struggle with this one for a while, guys. Just struggle with this.
That'll be a game day decision there for Jeffrey O'Brien.
Yeah, right now I'm on the Bills, but we'll see. Okay, we have to take a moment. When we come back, we've got Ralph's and Randy's game. They are one in the same, and we'll find out what the picks are on that. But before we go to break, we have a new listener here. We have a new texter on the text line. 0565 says, I like you guys. Been listening all week, and this station is awesome.
Cool.
Tune in with my mom on the way to school and with my dad after school.
Okay.
I hate the Seahawks.
Good man.
Smart. But how old are you there? Now, I see that there was once a text from this number in the past, and it just said, Buddy. Is that your name? Are you Buddy? Is that your texter nickname or what? And also, how old are you so I can start to think about the things I say on this radio station? It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Chief here from the main event, heard on 1580 The Fanatic, Monday through Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. Coming up tomorrow, we'll be without Stephen McCullum, but Keon Rose will join myself as we get you geared up for the football weekend on this Football Friday. Also, look ahead to Suns and Mavs as Luka Doncic is going to get the start against the Phoenix Suns. And will Kyler Murray be in the lineup this Sunday against the Seahawks? We'll talk all about that and so much more. That's coming up Friday at 1 p.m. on 1580 and 993 FM, The Fanatic.
If you're not spending every waking moment checking us out online,
You better have a good excuse.
yeah, we've loaded up our website with the stories, pics, video, podcast, commentary, and more. The kind of stuff you love.
Hey, it takes a lot of time to post all this junk.
And you'll love every bit of it. Very well.
Or at least most of it.
It appears that the website has become alive.
Hit it now.
It's on the internet.
1580, thefanatic.com.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Hey, we got the Siege coming up here in a little bit. Is he cool with us? Is he hanging in there, Keon? Hello? Hi? Is this thing on? Am I on there?
You are
Yes.
on. I'm working on it.
Okay, all right, that's cool. But we got fantasy football questions. We got fantasy football answers. Go ahead and text them in to 888-368-1580, and we'll get the Siege on the line here in a minute. But before we do that, we have one more game to talk about, and that is the Seattle Seahawks are at home. The 3-6. Wait, is that the Lakers thing? Hold on, is that the same record as the Lakers?
Lakers are 8-8.
Oh, okay. Well, the Seahawks are 3-6. The Arizona Cardinals are 8-2. But it is up there in rainy Seattle. So now we have to decide who we pick. Keon and I are going to have to decide first because, well, it's going to get epic here in a moment. I'm going to be very objective. I'm not going to make any nasty jokes about the Seattle Seahawks.
Sure.
And I like Russ Wilson and I like Pete Carroll. I don't have a dog in this race, so I haven't had to observe in the whole hatred of these teams against each other.
Right.
I just watch for good football, and I've watched a lot of good football with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Back in the days when you had a defense. Right now, you don't.
I disagree.
You don't have a defense. Well, you can disagree. 3-6, but you don't have a defense. And if I had players in fantasy football going up against the Seattle defense, I'm playing everybody. So that is really the only problem. That DK Metcalf doesn't know what it means to be ejected from a game. Just wants to come right back in there. It's like, do you get what ejection means? Yeah. As I look at this and I look at these two teams, the big difference is the defense. The defense for the Cardinals, it's Russ Wilson. You got to give respect, but they'll slow you down enough. The problem is your defense will not slow down the offense of the Arizona Cardinals, no matter who's under center. I got to go with the Arizona Cardinals on this one. Open and shut case. Keon?
Yeah, I'm going with the Cards too, and I'm doing that mostly for a couple of reasons. One, the defense that Jeffrey just mentioned, but also Russell Wilson looked possibly rusty last week. I don't think he's going to look quite so bad this week, but I still think that he's got like another week of trying to get acclimated to playing with these guys again. Like Tyler Lockett is his guy. I don't know if I've ever seen Russell Wilson miss so many throws to Lockett. Yeah. He underthrew him once in the first half. He overthrew him late. That just doesn't happen. And I think a lot of that is he came back from that finger injury so fast. I still think that there's
used to using the new finger yet.
Yeah, I think there's some rust to get knocked off there. So I'm going to go with the Cards because I don't think we're going to get 100% Russell Wilson.
We call him Rusty Wilson. All right, that's your boy, Russ Wilson.
Yeah,
Mr. Dangly Finger.
Mr. Dangly Finger.
You're at home.
I agree with everything Keon just said. I mean, I watched that game obviously, and the one thing that I disagree with what you're saying is, I know you're talking about the defense being so bad, and they were in the beginning of the season. And the defense has made changes. They're not running the same basic scheme they've run typically for the last few years. They actually changed it up. And if you watch the game against Green Bay, they held them down to 3 points for most of that game. The problem was in the fourth quarter, they got tired because Russ was so off and so bad. The offense did nothing. It was 3 and out after 3 and out. They got tired. They lost that game because of that. Otherwise, if it would have been a different Russ, that's a different game. So I looked at that. We're supposed to get Chris Carson back this week, which I think is a big deal. We need Chris Carson back. That'll give us the ability to run a little bit. And the Cardinals, I really do hope Kyler Murray plays. If I was running that team, I would not play him. I would go into the bye week, give him the extra week of rest. But I really do want him to play because I don't want Randy to have excuses next week.
What excuses? You just said your defense is out of shape and your offense is horrible. What excuses do the Cardinals need?
So let me continue. It's Russell Wilson, who will be a 1 week removed, another week from having come back from that injury. He will carve up that so-called secondary, in my opinion. The one thing the Cardinals have struggled with this year has been with running quarterbacks, guys that can move, guys that just don't sit back there and lay there. You saw it with Trey Lance when they played the 49ers. You saw it last week against Carolina. They struggle with guys that can move. Russell Wilson can move. His finger will be a lot better, and they will get on the board against them, and they will do their damage against that defense. Our defense will let the Cardinals move the ball up and down the field, but they will tighten up in the 20s like they've been doing the last 2-3 weeks. They're better than their record. We will see how good they can be this week. I think they win this game. I think it's a close game. It's always a close game. These two teams just beat each other up so bad. It's fun to watch, but I think the Seahawks win this game. They probably win it by a field goal, but I'm going Seahawks.
I think is the game of the week, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. But now, the moment you've all been waiting for, let's find out what Randy White has to say about the Arizona Cardinals visiting the Seattle Seahawks.
Last week was painful, but I can't say I did not see it coming. I reported to you all on this very radio program that the Panthers have something on the Cardinals. However, this week, it's different. Kyler Murray is an X factor. Just the fact he's on the field will give the Cardinals enough confidence to take it to the Sea Chickens in their own kitchen. Look out, because the prolific offense will rain hell down on the Sea Chickens in their own home stadium. The Cardinals are a 2.5-point favorite as I report this. The money line is Cardinals minus 135, Sea Chickens plus 115. The Cardinals are 6-2 against the spread. Additionally, they're 4-0 against the spread on the road with Kyler Murray. Oddly enough, the Seahawks were actually better against the spread without Russell Wilson. Let me tell you what's going to happen, friends. The Cardinals will charge in to the Sea Chickens kitchen. They will defeather, debone, and fry up some sea chicken meat and come out of there victorious in what forever will be known as the Great Thanksgiving Sea Loon Fry in Seattle.
That is very specific.
Sea Loon Fry.
I mean, so Thanksgiving is next week. So
I love the music. I felt like we were about to watch Stranger Things. That's
That's
good.
right. That's right.
'Cause it would be a stranger thing if the
Was a
Seattle
little more-
Seahawks win.
Randy,
A
I
little
want to say this to you, Randy. I mean, if you guys lose this week, that's 3
Yeah.
out of 4 losses.
Yeah.
You're in trouble. You're in big trouble.
Oh, there
I'm
it
just
is.
telling you. 3 out
I'm
of
sorry.
4. It's all
I'm
going
sorry,
backwards.
you're cutting out on me. I
Yeah.
can't. What's that? I can't hear you.
I'm driving under a bridge.
I can't hear you.
Listen, we can fight that out a little bit more later on, but right now joining us is the Siege, CJ Kaltenbach from Fantasy Guru and EliteFantasy.com. And he's here to answer your fantasy football questions. So you got to hear a little of this discussion about the Seattle Seahawks going up against the Arizona Cardinals. Siege, any word on whether or not Kyler Murray is going to indeed play?
I don't think Kyler plays. I don't think Chris Carson plays.
Is that a balancing factor, or does this start to play into the favor of the Seahawks?
I am on the Seahawks this week pretty strongly in that game. I think Colt McCoy is he's a nice backup and all, but he's not going to go win a division game on the road.
Well, there you go. So there is the unbiased opinion of Siege. And of course, he's always.
It's interesting.
What?
Because Colt McCoy won a division game on the road in San Francisco. What makes you think that he can't do that in Seattle, Siege?
Well, because Jimmy G is not good. Russell Wilson's good. Guys, it was one game. You can't overreact to the one game in Green Bay like it was one game. It's an overreaction here, and I think Colt McCoy was pretty well exposed last week. But you got to just give him the bye week. I know it's frustrating. I know you want him to play this week, but give him and Hopkins the bye week, and then just come back. You're going to make the playoffs. It doesn't really matter as long as if you're the 1 seed, the 2 seed. It really doesn't matter. You see all these things just not caring about seedings this year.
Okay, what about Russ Wilson's dangly finger? He does, he showed it was not completely. I'm sure it's healed, but he doesn't know how to use his finger yet. With the rest of his hand, would you play him in fantasy football this week if you had to? I mean, what do you think about his ability right now, still trying to come back from that injury?
I'm not going to overreact to one game. If I have Russell Wilson, I can't imagine I have a better option. It's possible, but it's highly unlikely.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Now, again, I do like Russell Wilson, Ralph. Ralph is a big-time Seahawks fan. He feels a little abused in here, mostly because he is. We've got some questions already up here on the text line. You ready to start this thing up, Siege?
Let's do it.
All right. George says, hey, Siege, question. Would you start the Steelers receiver Chase Claypool against the San Diego Chargers? or Bengals receiver T. Higgins against the Oakland Raiders. Okay, there's two. I'm sorry, hold on a second. Yeah, he's giving me 4 choices. I'm going to stop with those 2 first.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I would play Claypool against the LA Chargers.
There you go. Yeah, George, we don't do more than, I mean, seriously, 3's got to be the limit. We can't, because then he's got to sit there and write things down. Nobody wants that. Boomer Sooner says, hold on here. He's talking about using a magic 8 ball. I better move on. FAB says, haha, AB strikes again. Okay, so that's a good point. Will Antonio Brown actually play this week, or do you think that with this breaking news that he might have faked a vaccination card, he might not find the field?
Well, he wasn't going to play because of that injury anyways. He still hasn't returned to practice.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's more that injury that's going to hold him back than anything else.
Gotcha. Just Tip says, Siege, which one of these should be my running back 2? Tony Pollard, Mike Davis, or Devontae Freeman?
I would go with Mike Davis. Pretty much, I think Wayne Gallman got the work last week because it was garbage time and the game was over. With Patterson looking very limited, even if he is playing, I would go Mike Davis.
There you go. Big George is mad. He's like, there was only 3 in my request. What are you talking about? Well, you have so many words in there. It looked like there was 4 or 5. So he's Claypool, Higgins, or Alex Collins. There we go.
Should have stopped at 2 options. You didn't need the 3rd.
Sorry, George. That did not go your way. Shooter McGavin says, I just want to know if Shepard or Tony from the Giants are even worth playing.
I mean, I would hopefully have better options, but if you've got stuff, it's not the end of the world.
So I guess Galladay is probably not somebody you want to even mess with this week.
I don't mind him. You know, Tampa, if you're going to score on them, it's via the pass. So, I mean, it's not the world's worst spot, but I wouldn't be dying to play it either.
Gotcha. Let's see here. Screaming Eagle says, CJ, due to the bye, I've got a few choices I got to make. Saquon Barkley used to be a top 10 running back, but due to injuries and such, he's fallen from grace, so to speak. Do you see an upside for him anytime soon?
I mean, I would play him when he gets back, but that's a Monday night game. I don't think you're going to have definitive word on him. So I don't think you're going to be able to use him this week.
All right. Senior Wake and Bake, thank you for that. Let's see. Bite Micah Bob says Garoppolo, Cam Newton, or Mac Jones.
Oh, Mac Jones.
There you go. Seriously, is he the next Tom Brady?
Sure looks like it. As a Pats fan, I am in the full on excitement stage.
Oh, well, then you're not somebody we should even ask. You're just going to be a homer.
I don't think he's the next Tom Brady, but he's really, really good. And that offense, it's looking like one of those old Patriots teams where they would be bad in September, they'd go like 2-2, and then October hits and they find their stride, and next thing you know, they're in the Super Bowl. So
I think I have a way of explaining it. Let's call him a lowercase Tom Brady. How's that?
Sounds like a good plan to me.
All right. Let's see. Just a Tip says, should I play 2 wide receivers from the same team, like Cole Beasley and Emmanuel Sanders versus those hard knock Colts?
I would try to find something better than Cole Beasley. It sure looks like he's fighting that injury. I've been pretty patient with him, but I'm finally abandoning ship at this point. He's just not 100%.
We got the Siege with us from Fantasy Guru and EliteFantasy.com answering your fantasy football questions. Now I'm going to take a moment and see if you guys you have any questions. Ralph?
I'll ask one. So we're talking about Russell Wilson. I have Russell, and I also have Josh Allen. Who would you start?
I can't imagine benching Josh Allen.
Okay.
There you go. All right. So now I'm going to go to mine. You guys get your questions ready. I have got David Montgomery and Josh Jacobs as running backs. For my flex, I could go to Cordell Patterson or Ty Johnson. What do you think I should do other than abandon all hope?
You can't play Patterson this week, even if he plays the limited snap count. So that's out. Ty Johnson hasn't done much in a while. So I can't remember who the third name was, but it's going to be done by default.
All right. Well, then I guess it's Callaway or Galladay. I like guys with the names that end in day.
I don't mind Galladay against Tampa. Callaway's been playing good, though, with Simeon. I'm just afraid they're just going to play Taysom Hill one of these games, and as soon as they do that, those Saints receivers lose all value.
Yeah, and so does Alvin Kamara, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's not going to play. He didn't practice today. After limited yesterday, he did not practice today. That's a pretty disastrous turn of events. Let's go with Callaway because Kamara's probably not going to play.
All right, Keon, what do you got, man?
Well, I got Chase Claypool and Brandon Ayuk, and I've liked Ayuk lately. So
Ayuk,
who would you go?
I think Ayuk's just plug and play at this point. I got to be honest.
Okay, yeah, I feel less scared to start him now that I did at the beginning of the season. He's been pretty solid lately. And last question is Devontae Freeman a legitimate fantasy football option at this point as like a flex?
I mean, Latavius Murray, I think, is going to return and muddy that whole situation up again.
Oh my God! All right, well, just when I thought I had it sort of figured out,
what's the other option?
Zach Pascal.
How's the waiver wire look?
That hurt my feelings a little bit. I'll be honest. Randy, you got any fantasy football questions, buddy?
Yes. CJ, I've lost 5 games in a row and I'm dropping like a rock in the ocean. How do I get out of this stupid fantasy football? Do you have any advice for me?
That's not even a real question.
It just sounds like bitterness.
A lot of it too.
It's complete and total bitterness.
Play the owner who's got Josh Jacobs. That'll get you back on the winning track.
So now that was uncalled for. And to be fair, Randy, I think I might be one of his only wins this year. So yeah, he's right. He's right, Randy. All right, let's get back to the text line so I don't get my feelings hurt. Moist One says, Dolphins or 49ers defense?
I guess 49ers.
Okay. Senior Wake and Bake says, Shane.
I have no confidence in either one.
Shane Mosley or Bernard Hopkins?
Oh, Bernard Hopkins. A good question.
All right. Bite My Kebab says, will Kirk Cousins have a good day against the Green Bay defense?
No.
I think
the Vikings are one of the most overrated teams in football, and I will die on this hill.
Ukla the Mock says, hey, CJ, how about Connor Jacobs or E. Elliott?
I have no idea what that's even. Ezekiel.
Comma.
Elliott.
There's supposed to be a comma. There's no comma. It's supposed to be, how about Connor, comma, Jacobs, comma, or Zeke Elliott?
Oh, you're playing Zeke. Play your studs.
There you go, Ukla. And yeah, sometimes, maybe some punctuation helps. Just the Tips is Hey Siege, Furman Flex, Marvin Jones, Marquez Galloway, or Michael Gallup.
Michael Gallup. I really liked how he looked last week coming off the injury.
Big George says, one more quick question. Would you start Washington running back McKissick, Mike Davis, or Kenyon Drake?
I would play Mike Davis.
Hefty Lefty says, full PPR to Ernest Johnson or any Titans running back.
Donta Foreman was. I think I would play over Darius Johnson. I keep hearing word that Chubb's going to play. I'm not buying it, but I mean, if Chubb plays, you have to play anything else.
Boogie says, okay, be honest. A week and a half ago, would you have traded away Patrick Mahomes for Jalen Hurts?
No.
I think there's a story there somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, I've been down on Jalen Hurts. I don't think he's that good. So now there's no way I ever would have.
Let's see here. Moist One says, I always have the same conundrum with Higgins or Waddle.
Yeah, and I think I've answered the question wrong every week he asks to. Let's go with Higgins this week.
Random Texture says, who gets the bulk this weekend, Harris or Stevenson from the Patriots? Would you play either of them over Ingram from the Saints?
Strong opinion that Damian Harris gets his job back. You guys remember the Jonas Gray game where he had like 200 yards and 4 touchdowns and he got no carries the following week? I think that's exactly what we're going to see with Damian Harris here. I think he's going to get his job back. We saw what happened when the Patriots had to use someone coming off the concussion list last week when Stevenson got all the work. Why would it change for Harris? I think Harris gets 80% of the snaps this week. I think he's a strong option.
All right, there you go. That is the Siege. CJ Kaltenbach from Fantasy Guru and EliteFantasy.com. Where can they find you on the Twitters there, Siege?
At the Siege DFS.
All right, there you go. Have a great fantasy week. One last question just popped in from Hefty Lefty. Standard scoring, Michael Carter or Brandon Cooks?
Michael Carter. He's been really good.
There you go. All right, Siege. We'll see you next week. Thanks, buddy.
You bet, guys.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk some more football. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. Are you seeing what is going on in the home buying market right now? Unbelievable. Not enough inventory, and there is a ton of demand. Some of these homes are getting 30, 40, 50 offers on them. How are you going to stand out? How are you going to differentiate yourself from the other buyers who are in line? I have a way. Use the Lund Mortgage Team. Lund Mortgage Team is locally owned and operated with over 20 years of experience right here in the Valley. They have a great reputation, and it is a trustworthy pre-approval. And on top of that, they are quick. That's one of the things. You got to come equipped and be ready to buy. So what you need to do is make that first phone call to 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940. Get that pre-approval going, and then get yourself ready to go buy that home of your dreams. Go online, lundmortgageteam.com, or call 623-875-9940.
What do you mean we don't have those numbers?
Bruno's sports analytics startup lost its math whiz to the competition.
In order to stay competitive, we have to have this.
Now he needs a new statistician to even the score.
I don't even think these predictions are the most current. I mean, this is.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, this is Bruce Jacobs from my friends and former employers at ProCopy. For over 20 years, ProCopy has provided Arizona companies with the best office equipment available from companies like Ricoh. More importantly, they provide outstanding service after the sale with a 96% retention ratio and award-winning technicians. 3 years ago, they joined the Flex Technologies Group, an Arizona-based nationwide group of companies that share ProCopy's commitment to excellence. So if you have branches anywhere in the United States or just here in Arizona, you can get great personalized service even during the current climate. We use them here at the Fanatic and Money Radio KFNN, and they never disappoint because they remain a local company. They give back to our community by supporting ASU and the Thunderbirds through the Phoenix Open. The ProCopy Foundations has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. That makes doing business with ProCopy good for your business. Just give them a call at 602-PROCOPY. That's 602-776-2679.
Sun Devil fans, it's rivalry week in Tempe. Sun Devil football hosts the Arizona Wildcats on Saturday, November 27th at 2 p.m., presented by Coca-Cola. The Sun Devils are looking for their 5th straight Territorial Cup victory, including last year's dominant win in Tucson. It's also Senior Day, so arrive early to honor the 2021 senior class and help keep the Territorial Cup where it belongs, right here in Tempe. Get your tickets today at sundeviltickets.com. That's sundeviltickets.com.
Sports. We love it and you love it. Quite frankly, I don't trust anyone who doesn't love it. Do you?
Is that a serious question?
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Your exclusive home for primetime NFL games and Super Bowl 56.
Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. All right, guys, we got to get caught up on the old text line here. By the way, can I just say, you guys don't make my job very easy when we're talking to the fantasy football guy, getting fantasy football questions answered, and you're throwing in all these weird things that I got to filter through on the fly. Leather or lace? Oh, shut up, man. And I'm looking at you, moist one. Anyway, so stop it. Which now this is probably going to get worse. I shouldn't have said a word. Should have kept my mouth shut.
Ooh.
Oh, well. All right. So let's just get caught up and then we'll move on to the next thing. Because we have an episode of Goofus and Gallant for you, NFL style, here in a little bit. Do you remember Goofus and Gallant, right?
No.
In Highlights magazine.
Look at that. He got it right away.
And I had highlights. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I do remember.
Yeah.
That.
Goofus runs around and screams. Gallant is very polite and quiet.
How do you know about highlights?
They
think
still
he's
make them.
Are you trying to say he's never been to a dentist?
They still make them, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I had a subscription to Highlights magazine all the way through middle school.
Yeah. Goofus, stays up with all the current events. Wait, no, I got it backwards now. Damn it. Anyways, have an NFL version of that here in just a bit, and you guys get to decide which one is Goofus and which one is Gallant. It may not be that obvious. Let's do the text line thing here. Let's see. Watermelon says, Randy, it wasn't Jones Johnson. It was Licky Lips Johnson.
Right. That's exactly right. Thank you very much.
Good Cat says, I'd like to be placed on the list for ASU tickets. Well, I've got GCU tickets. That's what we're doing right now. Yeah, I'm sure we'll have ASU tickets again. There ain't no list. You got to call and win them. Mr. Wilbur says, I'm on your side, Randy. You tell them. And don't forget to mention your nipple rings. Wait,
What?
I'm sorry. That might have been my
What?
outside voice.
What?
I don't know what he's talking about. Mr. Pringle says, Kyler is waiting for them shoes with lifts in them. Is that why he's not playing?
There's your whistle. Enjoy that.
Blissful Hayes says, we'll know in 3 short days if Kyler Murray will play against the Seaman Hawks. What? We can't say that. We can't say that.
You just did.
Oh, darn. Navy Devil says, I wonder when Antonio Brown gets suspended for obtaining a fake Johnson & Johnson vaccination card.
Johnson & Johnson, get it?
Mm-hmm. Cowboy Sparky says, okay, my son Camden assures me that the Devils beat the Beavers. So you can bank on that.
Okay.
How old is your son? So far, I've just learned we have a 10-year-old listening, and it's kind of messing with my my whole everything. King Kitten says, Randy, I agree. I too am concerned about the Territorial Cup. Arizona seems to improve each week. The Devils seem to not improve. Ralph, Sunday, the way I see it, comes down to if the Cardinals can keep the Seahawks from running the balls and controlling the clock.
Yep.
Can the Cardinals keep the Hawks run game in check, Randy?
I believe they can. Yeah.
Jagdog says, Randy, if Chris Strevler beats the I gotta change it. Trust me when I say that Rainy City Bitch Pigeons is better than what Jagdog typed. if Chris Strevler beats them this week as starting quarterback and the Cards go on to win the Super Bowl, will the Cards be the only Super Bowl champion to have 3 different starting quarterbacks to get a win in the regular season for the same team? Boy, that's a tough one.
That is a great trivia question. I don't think they would be, though.
I don't think they would be either.
They're not going to win, so don't worry.
Patriot Eddie says, boo Bills. Cool. Why does he hate the Bills?
What's the nickname again?
Patriot Eddie. Well, that makes sense. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Boomer Sooner says, Jeffrey, I asked the mighty 8-Ball if the Arizona Cardinals would beat Seattle this Sunday in a football game, and it said, ask again later. I think they're still gathering info on the point spreads, injury reports, and stuff like that. You know, the 8-Ball has to be thorough. That makes sense. Still not sure on who's playing, who's not. The 8-Ball is not stupid. Big George says, I see the Siege improve the cellular plan because he actually sounded listenable today.
Yeah.
He must have finally upgraded from singular. Just a tip. Just a tip says that Siege segment is consistently the most informative segment compared to all the other sources I use for fantasy football. Thank you to the Fourth Dimension for asking good questions. It's funny on the other end. Where did it go on my screen? Somebody did not like it. Said it was very boring. Moist One says, I sent that after you pig.
The
hell is he talking
about?
You
pig.
Boogie says 3 weeks ago I traded for Hopkins. Last week I traded for Patrick Mahomes. I picked up Odell Beckham in free agency. I'm built for the playoffs. Coming after Thunder the Barbarian. I'm going to end up back in the Premier League. Well, maybe next year. Mr. Pringle says, Randy. Oh no. This is breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. We have breaking news here on the Daily Blender. Actual breaking damn news that will break Randy's heart.
I'm sure it will.
Shohei Ohtani has won.
This is not breaking news.
The
Come on,
American
man.
League MVP.
Come on, the writers had him as the MVP halfway through the damn season. Give me a break. It's not breaking news. Everybody knew it was going to happen.
So does that mean that when do they announce the MVP?
That's what he is. He's the AL MVP.
The of everything MVP. Don't they have a main MVP?
National and American.
I thought there was an MVP, like a VIP MVP.
No. Harper won the national, and Ohtani won American.
Boy, then
did
I
Harper
guess
win the national?
Yeah,
Did you already get that?
Yeah, he already got that too.
But who's better between the two of them? You have to have a winner.
No,
How
the
did
MVP.
How did Bryce Harper win the damn National League MVP?
I thought Bryce Harper played really well this season. I thought he looked amazing.
Overrated.
This angers me.
Usually, but I thought Bryce Harper was in the running this whole season.
Yeah,
I'm more leaning towards Freddie Freeman personally, but
it doesn't matter who you're leaning towards. There's no real winner. Don't you guys? Just me?
The two leagues are different enough that there's an American League MVP
leagues.
and a National League MVP.
One guy lets a pitcher hit, the other doesn't. Who cares? There's a designated hitter. There's not a designated hitter. Who cares?
It's totally different strategy, different leagues.
Doesn't matter.
It matters.
It's one World Series. Should be one MVP
between two leagues. There's one series between two leagues to figure out who the singular champion of all of baseball is.
They should do that with the MVP too.
The World Series MVP.
They have a World Series MVP.
I don't care about that.
That's
crap.
very true.
I don't care about that crap. I want to know who the MVP of MVPs are. Who's better?
Well, let me tell you, if they had an MVP of MVPs,
that's what I want to
they're
know.
so far up Shohei Ohtani's skirt right now, he would
stop.
be the MVP of all MVPs. Oh, look, it's a unicorn. He can pitch and he can hit home runs. He didn't hit the most home runs, but still, we love him.
Like I was a Shohei Ohtani guy like most of the season, but there was a point where Vlad Guerrero Jr. was just playing the best baseball in the National League, and I'm a little thrown as to how it is that it wasn't him. I am.
Because Tim Kurchin and the rest of the baseball writers who all talk the same way voted it because he's so fun. Oh, he can pitch and hit.
Am I really the only person upset that there's not a one MVP for baseball? This is upsetting me now. I always thought that I never really paid that much attention to these silly awards, but now I'm upset. Now I'm upset.
Why?
You know who else
Why?
is upset? Vegas is upset because this Shohei Ohtani win there is going to break the bank. Is going to break the bank in Vegas. They were talking about
It's going to break the bank.
They did. It's a long story. I'm going to let I'll let.
He had to be the favorite.
Because all the baseball writers said it was going to happen.
Oh, it was Colts Fan Dan. Yeah, Colts Fan Dan is the one who said fantasy football is the most boring segment of radio ever.
Wow.
Sounds like somebody who doesn't play fantasy football.
And he's a Colts fan. It's hard to believe.
What's your deal there, Colts Fan Dan? What's your deal? He texted it in 3 times just to make sure I would see it. Well, it may. Here's the thing. If we sat here and talked about our own teams, boring. Yeah, but we're talking about the players, who is a better pick than one or the other. And then it's like, you can sit there in your car and say, well, I bet that guy's better. Oh, I was wrong. It's just a little fun there. You can decide that. And also, if you play fantasy football, this is valuable information. And if you don't, well, then it's just a matter of, okay, let's see what I think, So I'm sorry you're bored by that. He says fantasy football is rated lower than the Santa Anita Pony Resort results.
That's so specific.
Wow.
That's highly specific.
Tough crowd. Beer Bob says, Randy's going to get mad about the Ohtani thing.
I'm not mad. Congratulations to him. He had a wonderful year. I just don't think he is the MVP. I'm sorry. Just because he can pitch,
Well,
he's a good pitcher. He's above average pitcher. And he's a wonderful hitter. Okay. So Vlad Guerrero Jr. Didn't pitch, but he hit more home runs. He had a higher on base percentage and he had a higher slugging percentage. Wouldn't that make him the MVP? I mean, since we're a stats driven league here, isn't that the case?
I mean, I would think so.
it's the uniqueness of what he brings to the table.
I
There
get
you
that.
go.
That's
but
what it
There
is.
you go.
But
it's the uniqueness.
But I just think that when Ohtani had more home runs than everyone, I thought he was the MVP. And the moment that he didn't, I was out on it. I just think that
fair.
the guy that's hitting better and actually, you'll get all of his numbers actually boosting his team. That's the guy I want to be the most valuable player.
Blissful Hayes says, did Major League Baseball award Arizona Diamondbacks the worst team in 2021? No, they
Yeah, they
awarded
should.
that themselves.
Yeah.
They took care of that without any help from anyone else. Watermelon says the MVP is now turned into a participation award in baseball. What is this world coming to? There can't be 2 MVPs. Well, I think those two things
Well,
are different, but
Two
I agree with both.
2 leagues. So,
Wiggy my
yeah.
piggy says, "Holy moly! First time I had to pay over $50 for a tank of gas. That's the real problem." Senior Wake and Bake says, "Keon, got a name for your Washington football team? The Ass Chaps." Why?
Wow.
Why is this drive-by shooting on his team there? What the hell? King Kitten says the only combined award for both American and National Leagues is a World Series trophy, baby. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for healthcare. And here's why. Not only is it time for open enrollment for a lot of people, it's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For the typical family, switching to MediShare saves about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people. Think what you could do with that. But if you join right now, MediShare is waiving their new member fee. So that's another $170 you'll save. And MediShare is really different. It's a community of Christians who share each other's healthcare bills. More than 400,000 people are members, and they've shared over $4 billion in medical bills. So yes, they can handle your bills too. This may be the time to make the switch. Join before November 30th for the additional savings. It's so easy to find out more. They're great to talk to. In fact, you can get a price within 2 minutes. Here's the number. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
When it comes to NASCAR, everything comes down to time. How fast can you get it done? Built, official partner and protein bar of NASCAR, is a tasty option when you're on the move. Hi, Randy here from the Race Setup. And if you have not tried a Built Bar, you are missing out. This protein bar does not taste like a protein bar. It tastes like a candy bar. Just grab a Built Bar when you want something fast and just so delicious. If you go to Built.com to get yourself some Built Bars, use code Randy10. You'll get 10% off your order. Code Randy10 at Built.com.
We all know that when we need service on our vehicles, having a trusted and reliable auto repair center is very important. Hi, I'm Stephen McCollum from the Main Event here on 1580 The Fanatic. And that's why I have all my vehicles serviced and repaired at Friendly Auto Centers in Mesa. Steve, the owner, and his team are experts in auto repair in a non-intimidating environment. Friendly Auto Center is a AAA approved auto repair center and awarded Top Shop winner. Family owned with 19 service bays to get you back on the road fast with reliable repairs backed by an exceptional warranty. Friendly Auto Centers offer a full range of routine auto services as well as general repairs on any make or model passenger vehicle, RVs, and large trucks. Friendly Auto Centers are located at 5026 East Main Street in Mesa. Give them a call, 480-830-9377. That's 480-830-9377. Find them online at friendlyautocenters.com. Tell them Big Steve sent you.
If you're age 62 or older and own a home, this message is for you. Reverse Rob here, Money Radio's expert on reverse mortgages. Learn how to tap the equity in your home and increase the quality of your life by earning tax-free income while protecting your other retirement assets. Join us for our free Second Saturdays webinar every month to learn more. This is not too good to be true. All you need to do is reverse your thinking. Call me today, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
KQFN Tempe, also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM
and K2.1 Rolling Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Ralph from Harmon Solar with us. Keon is in the control room pushing them buttons, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line hitting these buttons, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios here in Scottsdale. We're going to play NFL Goofus or Gallant here in a moment. I'm still trying to get caught up on this text line. King Kitten says, I just spent $85 on a 22-gallon tank of gas.
Wow.
What are you using, like super unleaded? That seems a bit high for 22 gallons.
That does.
You know what I'm saying? I think he's He's using the good stuff. Must be nice, King of Kittens, to have that kind of money. Ukle the Mock says, really, baseball, Radio Pal, look at these guys. Is it even a sport? It's just cricket on roids. Ukle just hates everybody and everything, I think, sometimes.
Yeah.
Just a Tip says, Vladimir. Anyone choosing teams to pick Vladimir first? I don't know why all caps Just a Tip, but all right.
Boy, I don't know.
Random Texter says, I was just going to text in and ask if the fantasy segment could be longer. I think during the football season, you could make an hour-long show out of it. Well, we used to have an hour-long show, and yeah, I think that the fantasy football segment is about to get a little bit longer here very soon, and we'll have an announcement for you guys very shortly. But, you know, as it is, as long as you guys are asking the questions, we're answering the questions. More about that later. Big George says, these MVP votes make no sense. The 1 year Paul Goldschmidt should have won the MVP was when the Diamondbacks actually made the playoffs in 2017, and instead it went to Joey Votto. I'm so upset about this.
Yeah, I mean, there's no rhyme or reason. It's all up to the Baseball Writers Association. So you got to leave it in the hands of the writers, and that's the way it's always been for 175 years or whatever it is, however old these guys are. And that's the way it's really, I think maybe fans or the other players should really vote for the MVP, not the baseball writers.
That is an interesting concept, which will completely be destroyed because it makes sense.
Makes too much sense.
Yeah, it does.
Moist One says, are you guys kidding though? Well, you sent this at 4:56 and I probably more than likely, yes. Don't know what and why'd you call me a pig? Fish Tank says, what's wild is every MVP candidate wasn't in the playoffs. What a dumb award. The MVP award is just a reminder that you need a good team to win the World Series, not just one great player.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what Ralph thinks, but I think that there are several instances of a guy being an exceptional player that should win the MVP based upon how he's played the game. It doesn't matter if your team goes to the playoffs or wins the World Series. Now, I think that's a whole nother level. But they're like this year. I mean, they voted Shohei Ohtani the MVP of the American League. Well, the Angels, let's see, they finished nearly last place in the American League West. They were just above the Rangers. But that had no bearing on Shohei Ohtani, his amazing pitching skills and his amazing hitting skills. He's a unicorn. I mean, you don't see that every day. It's like somebody said earlier this year, we haven't seen this since Babe Ruth, meaning a guy that can pitch as an effective pitcher, have a very good pitching record, and also hit home runs. So,
well, you can't penalize a good player for being on a bad team. And that's why they have the playoff level MVP awards to handle those guys that are in the playoffs. So absolutely, that's the reason they set it up that way. So the guys that are having a great year deserve to be rewarded no matter what their team has done.
Well, then back to Randy's idea, it should be player voted and not
absolutely agree.
Nerdy sports writers.
Sports writers are the biggest joke to give that award. I agree.
And then they turn into talk show hosts. Dropping the Soap says, Randy's missing the point on Ohtani. We haven't seen anybody do what he did this year since Babe Ruth.
Oh, so
Dropping the Soap. Are you a sports writer?
So do we give him the MVP because he can pitch above average and he can hit home runs?
He says Randy just contradicted himself. He says he was a starting rotational pitcher and a starting offensive player. Come on, man. Nobody's done that since Babe. It's hard enough being one or the other. He excelled at both. He'd be the number one pitcher for the Diamondbacks.
I mean,
no,
I get all that. I do. I'm big into that too. I actually think it's amazing what Shohei Ohtani did. The fact that you haven't seen a guy do anything like that since Babe Ruth is, quite frankly, awesome to see. He's like my league pass guy. If Shohei Ohtani's doing anything, I watch the Angels play. But did you watch Vlad Guerrero Jr. in the second half of that season? That man was obliterating the baseball to the point where pitchers didn't even want to pitch on him. His on-base percentage was insane. He just became the scariest hitter in the sport. And I do think the value of what Vlad Guerrero gave the Blue Jays is greater than the value that Shohei Ohtani gave the Angels. The way Guerrero was playing, it was absurd.
Dropping the Soap says Guerrero only has to concentrate on hitting, but Ohtani had to concentrate on both, man.
Well, yeah, okay.
But
He didn't pitch every day. Vlad Guerrero played in the field every day. Shohei Ohtani sat on the damn bench 4 out of 5 days during the week and went in the hitter's tunnel and swung, in the hitter's tunnel. And then they came out and batted while he sat on the bench. Vlad Guerrero had to field his position every day. You can't give him that. And I appreciate that you haven't seen a guy go out and be an effective starting pitcher and also a designated hitter who didn't play a lot of outfield this season. Now, if this guy was going out when he wasn't pitching and playing outfield, I'd have no problem with this whatsoever. But just because the guy is a unicorn and can come out and pitch well and go out and hit home runs, it means a hill of beans to me. The guy's just out there doing his job, just like Vladimir Guerrero is doing. He's playing his position every day, and he goes up and he hits every day.
Dropping the Soap, you're cracking me up. Moist One also cracking me up, but we got to move on. Senior Wake and Bake takes care of business for you, Ralph.
Does he?
But first, Ukalamak says, does anybody care what Ralph Mouth thinks? Should we ask Potsy too?
Wow.
But then Senior Wake and Bake says, hey, Ukla, your mom takes steroids. Wow. Just took care of business right there.
There you go, man.
We didn't have to say nothing like that. All right. Let's see. Blissful Hayes says, has Randy Pott his Ohtani jersey yet? You can tell how much he likes the guy.
It's not a matter of liking Shohei Ohtani. I have nothing against him whatsoever. Nothing against him. My problem is he was voted the MVP at the midway point of the damn baseball season by the outdated, out-of-touch baseball writers.
Dropping the Soap wants to remind you Guerrero did not pitch.
No, he played his position every day, which is a bit harder than going out there for 5 innings at a time and then sitting on your ass the rest of the week, not doing anything.
He's also top 5 in the league in batting average. He was only just a top 5 hitter, like a top 5 in the league. He goes up to the plate. It's more than likely a hit.
Just a tip. You might be right, but keep it to yourself. Flying Monkey says plenty of people have posted a stat line like Guerrero did this year. Nobody has ever posted a stat line like Ohtani did last year.
Well, you're looking at a stat line, really? If you want to look at stats, I could bring up stats. Shohei Ohtani was out hit by Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
So wait, plenty of people in Major League Baseball were top 3 in hits, top 5 in batting average, and led the majors in homers. Plenty of people put that stat line up. I'm just so I'm clear, plenty of guys did that. I don't understand what you're saying. Pretty much just Vlad did that.
It's again, I hear you guys. I think you guys are making a really good case. It's the uniqueness of what that guy did. I mean,
well, I'm upset because King Kitten spent $3.79 a gallon, and that's how I got an $85 bill on his gas tank.
That's cheap.
I just wanted to yell too.
No,
I just felt left out a little bit there on that one. Puts the lotion in the basket, says 26 stolen bases on top of home runs. Not too many people, by the way. Not too many people. Senior Wake and Bake says, hey, lay off Ohtani. He might come up missing. And then you're going to be a suspect, Randy.
Jeez. I have said nothing adverse about Shohei Ohtani. I have said nothing hateful about him. I said I like the guy. I said I have nothing against the guy. My entire argument is about the outdated, out of touch way that they have this. This is the baseball writers' opportunity to get heard for once a year, and they get to vote on all these like there's something special or something.
But what I can't figure out is why you hate Ohtani so much. Moist One says Guerrero DH'd on many occasions. He sat on his ass a lot. And he says, guys, there's a thing called the Silver Slugger Jesus Christos. Okay, what? No idea what you're talking about there, buddy. Just a Tip says MVP does not stand for unique. Fish Tank says has a pure DH, everyone MVP, like Tino Martinez, maybe. I don't know if that was has or was. I don't know.
Has a DH1 MVP? Is that the question?
God, when you guys drink, we have to decipher your texts. It's kind of slows down the show. We may have to have like a special daily blender breathalyzer test. Just today's not your day. Lightning Bolt says Ohtani only hit 257, by the way. Just so you know.
Yeah, Yeah.
Everybody got all quiet now. I know, because they're all enraged about the gas prices too. That's what happened there.
It is pretty ridiculous.
Did we lose Randy?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Because like you are amazing, Randy. Because sometimes on your camera it usually looks like you're frozen, but you're not.
He just becomes motionless.
Well, thank you.
He's like camouflage. He's like
No
a ninja.
player in Major League Baseball league history, according to this website here, no player has won as a designated hitter.
Ooh, Glendale
No player has
Runner
won.
has a good idea. He says, Randy, how about this? Create a sports talk radio association. Let them create a set of awards, get organized, and show those old school writers how it really is.
No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. How about the other players in the league and coaches vote on who they think, because they play these guys every week. Vote on who they think. I'd have no problem with it. And again, congratulations to Shohei Ohtani. Amazing feat that he accomplished, really.
Ookla says, we're listening to your show and you expect us not to drink? That's fair.
Wow.
That is fair. Okay, are you guys ready for Bizarro NFL? Goofus or Gallant? I don't know. I mean, is it Goofus? Is it Gallant? We're going to have to decide which is which. All right, first one. Matt Nagy, I guess, spoke up on taunting.
Goofus.
Well, you don't know. Maybe it's Gallant. Here's what he says. He says, people watch and people want to see a little bit of respect and a little bit of things the right way. It doesn't mean you can't have fun, but there's young kids right now that are watching these games. And what happens is you go to one of these sporting events, you might see some imitation going on, and that's taking it over the top. I'm a firm believer in respect and just kids growing and watching. And we have a huge platform as leaders, players, and coaches. Let's understand what the rules are. Let's do it right way. Let's still have fun, but no taunting. So he's against taunting for the kids, not because you're on a crap team and you're always going to get taunted, but for the kids. Is he Goofus or is he Gallant?
He's Goofus.
He's Goofus.
Yeah.
Randy?
I'll go with these two. Goofus. Because
All right.
clearly my other opinions are terrible.
Just because you're fighting with a couple of texters doesn't mean you're wrong.
I'm not fighting with anyone. They are ridiculous by saying that I have anything against Shohei Ohtani. I've never said that. Ever.
Yeah. And damn it, these gas prices are ridiculous.
You're exactly damn right.
All right. So here's the other one. Sean Payton says everyone involved in the NFL deserves better officiating. He went on the old Danny Patrick show there. And he says, you know what? There are instances each week when the officials are not up to speed, and said, yeah, the Bears lost to the Steelers a couple of weeks ago. That showed some problems right there in officiating. And he used to be in the NFL's competition committee. And he said the league needs to reduce the variables involved with officiating, starting from a leadership perspective and training perspective. Basically saying, the officiating is garbage and something needs to be done. Now, I about guarantee you this man just got himself a fine for having these comments on the Dan Patrick show, even though they're very positive, saying we have to improve. Everyone watching and participating and involved in this deserves better. Is he Goofus or is he Gallant?
He's
I believe he's Gallant.
He's more Gallant, yeah.
Especially if he knows he's going to be fined. It is like the NBA coach in the NBA playoffs who has a bunch of calls go against him in one game and he complains to the media. You know you're going to get fined.
Yep.
But what you hope is that the league will look at it anyway. And I hope that that's what actually happens, that Sean Payton actually does inspire the NFL to do something.
That is, fine me, but at least listen to me. Mm-hmm. And that is what it is. It's a call for that. You guys got it absolutely right. Goofus is Matt Nagy and Gallant is Sean Payton. Listen up, Matt Nagy. Hey, teacher, you forgot to give us a quiz. Shut the bleep up. Come on, man. This is out of control the way they're throwing these flags. And by the way, it's not just this, but let's just focus on this. Throwing these. That guy just stared at the other side for a moment and then he ran off the field. That is ridiculous. I get it if you flex on a guy and you point your finger at him and you say some stuff, it could start a fight. Okay, that's fine. I'm all right, get him for taunting. But it's gone out of control and needs to be fixed. But it's the same problem that Sean Payton is talking about. The officiating is bad. It is out of control bad on a weekly basis. You can name. Okay, can I tell you why you know it's bad? Because we know some of their names now. When you know the names off the top of your head of the referees, you know that there's a problem. Tony Correa, hip checking people and making bad calls. Angel Hernandez, meet Tony Correa. You have a lot to talk about. So, yeah, is Sean Payton gallant? Absolutely right. No doubt about it.
Yeah, I agree. Like the Vikings and Chargers was one of the better games of last weekend, but there were still bad calls in that game. Like even when the games are good, there's still an official or two, depending on the game you're watching, just making ridiculous calls.
Coles Van Dan says taunting is great. Well, it's really good on this show. Moist One says, okay, hold on here. Let me pass. I'll get back to you, buddy. Glendale Runner says, driving back from Tucson, I just inked a huge deal. Did you know they run ads for Arizona women's softball team tickets on the radio? Does No Pity for the Kitty 70-7 refer to the Territorial Cup win-loss ratio? Saw it on a billboard outside of Casa Grande. Nobody knows what the hell you're talking about right now, Glendale Runner. We've identified some of the words and phrases within your sentences, but remember, drinking and driving is a crime.
Yeah.
Do we unpack this thing and figure it out?
I don't even know where to start.
Boy,
to be honest with you.
I don't get it, Glendale Runner. Maybe you can explain better. I don't know. Are you pro or con? I can't. Hefty Lefty says Randy understands. If it involves Nagy, it's Goofus. Yeah, I guess that was a damn giveaway right there. Wiggin My Piggy says, hey, Jeffrey, that last text about gas was an accident on my part. Can't figure out how it pertains to sports, but come to think of it, at this rate, the girls in the WNBA are going to have a lot of trouble trying to find a ride to work now. He says, yeah. What? There's a lot going on here.
Yeah. Wow.
Booger Wolf says Seahawks fans smell like butt cheeks and foot cheese. Just random. Just
wow.
I don't even know what to do anymore.
For what? I mean, that's
wow.
Ukla says in any other time period, Vlad Jr. is MVP, but Ohtani is the most valuable player, and it shouldn't even be a debate. Randy, you're still my dude.
Well, again, I don't have a problem if he's voted by his peers. I don't have a problem with that, and he's a wonderful ball player, but I just don't like the fact that it's been him as the MVP. There's not even been a discussion. Hell, I was watching MLB TV before I got on the air today, and that's what the guys are saying. Shohei Ohtani, we know he's the MVP. It's obvious that he's going to be the MVP, but boy, Vlad Jr. should have. He's going to have a hard time over the next decade with Shohei Ohtani in the league. Like they've already got him elected the MVP multiple times.
Senior Reaganbag says, Randy, what size boot will they fit Murray in?
Enjoy your whistle.
Well, I didn't even get to say the rest. Infant. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we're definitely not talking about the MVP anymore. We're talking about football stuff. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now, you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now. Here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
Thursday night football, the Atlanta Falcons at 4-5 hosting the Patriots at 6-4. Atlanta a 7-point home underdog plus 250 on the money line. New England minus 300, the over under 47. College basketball, Arizona State on the road tonight against San Diego State. The Sun Devils an 8.5-point underdog. Arizona will play tomorrow night in Vegas against Wichita State. Both teams undefeated. The top 7 in the college football playoff remain the same this week. Right now, Georgia minus 2,000 to make the playoffs, way out in front, with Ohio State at minus 170, Alabama minus 135, Oklahoma plus 240, Cincinnati the 5th best odds at plus 250. For vsin.com, I'm Trey Westerberg on Arizona's sports betting station.
You feel that? It's finally happening. It's starting to get cooler. Is it time to start wearing sweaters? No, it's time to call Harman Solar. See, if you install solar now, you get to enjoy huge savings next summer, up to 85% on your monthly electric bill. That means you can put that AC at whatever temperature you like year round. Harman Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harman Solar, 800-281-3189, or go to harmansolar.com.
What do you mean we don't have those numbers?
Bruno's sports analytics startup lost its math whiz to the competition.
In order to stay competitive, we have to have this.
Now he needs a new statistician to even the score.
I don't even think these predictions are the most current. I mean, this is.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, this is Bruce Jacobs from my friends and former employers at ProCopy. For over 20 years, ProCopy has provided Arizona companies with the best office equipment available from companies like Ricoh. More importantly, they provide outstanding service after the sale with a 96% retention ratio and award-winning technicians. 3 years ago, they joined the Flex Technologies Group, an Arizona-based nationwide group of companies that share ProCopy's commitment to excellence. So if you have branches anywhere in the United States or just here in Arizona, you can get great personalized service even during the current climate. We use them here at the Fanatic and Money Radio KFNN, and they never disappoint because they remain a local company. They give back to our community by supporting ASU and the Thunderbirds through the Phoenix Open. The ProCopy Foundations has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. That makes doing business with ProCopy good for your business. Just give them a call at 602-ProCopy. That's 602-776-2679.
Distracted driving is dangerous, Arizona. When you pick up your phone to send a text message, you're putting lives at risk. When you pick up your phone to take a call, you're putting lives at risk. When you pick up your phone to check an email, you're putting lives at risk. And now, when you pick up your phone while driving, it's also against the law in Arizona. Don't get a ticket. Don't pick up your phone. Sponsored by Arizona Chapter National Safety Council and Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Get your college game on. Get ready for the fight songs. Get ready for the traditions. Get ready for the rivalries. It's college football.
He's gone. There he goes. Through the line. He'll take it to the house, 90 yards.
And we've got the games you want to hear.
Wide open, and the tight end will walk to the end zone.
College football lives on 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports.
It's Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Coming up on Friday, first round of the playoffs in high school football. We've got your 6A matchup between Pinnacle and Sandra Day O'Connor. Not the school. Sandra Day O'Connor is just going to go out there and school these punks herself. No, of course it's the school. Anyway, 7 p.m. here on 1580, The Fanatic. I really, really want to move on from people arguing about the MVP thing. I want to
Why is there an argument? It's been done. It's been settled. I mean, geez.
I don't know. Everybody wants to talk you into being okay with it. I guess.
I'm not going to be okay with it. I'm not ever. So
yeah.
Enjoy it. Congratulations, Shohei Ohtani.
So we're going to move on. No more MVP talk. Well, maybe about the NFL. The MVP race is anybody's game right now in the NFL. At least there, it's one damn award, not two. I appreciate that. But there's people have no clear picture of who the NFL MVP would be. And right now, points bets show Josh Allen as the favorite.
No, I don't see
what.
I mean, he's put up video game kind of numbers, but it's been against bad teams, and I do think that hurts him.
Yeah.
Well, that should have been exposed already. Tom Brady is next up. Prescott after that. Stafford after that. Rodgers after that. Lamar Jackson after that. Patrick Mahomes after that. Then Kyler Murray bringing up the rear on that one with plus 1,400 to give you the range. But so I don't like talking about these sorts of things too early, but now we've already gone over the hump of the midway. It's something you can eyeball a little bit. What do you guys feel? Okay, Ralph, I get it. Russell Wilson. Anyway,
no. I'm a realist when it comes to things like this. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. But everyone you just mentioned on that list, I don't see it.
Well, who do you see?
I'm trying to think. I don't know. I mean,
Josh Jacobs.
Oh man,
I'm kidding.
I wish Seed were here
I
so
know.
we could just cry about it.
No, but I'll be honest with you about one running back who's making a good name and case for himself, and this might make me seem a bit like a homer on this, but Jonathan Taylor.
I agree with
No,
that.
he's
from the Colts.
Yeah, I mean, he's having a great season.
It's just so hard for non-quarterbacks to win that award.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry has won it, but
So why not Jonathan Taylor?
I agree. I'm not disagreeing
He's
with
just
you.
not a sexy name. Is that what it is?
Well, it is easier for quarterbacks to become
Tell me
more
he's sexy.
household names.
Tell me he's sexy, Keon. I want you to say he's sexy.
Please don't.
Jonathan Taylor's sexy.
Now that you're bullying me,
I've got more M&Ms. I got more peanut M&Ms.
Trying to pay me off of peanut M&Ms.
Say it.
Just
say
because
it,
I
say
love
it.
peanut M&Ms.
Say it.
No, I will not say it.
All right.
I have access to a Walmart. I can also get. I can buy my own peanut M&Ms.
Good man. Good man. I respect.
But look, he should be in the conversation. And when you listed that bunch of names, I was actually listening out for him to be maybe in that mix. And I'm a little stunned that he's not there. At least.
Yeah, he's not on there, but I'll tell you what, Mac Jones, his name is sort of fluttered around.
Okay,
I'm not
come on.
talking about for rookie MVP. They're saying he's a dark horse, but he's back there. He's at plus 20,000, which is 200 to 1. So maybe put $1 or $2 on it, right?
I mean, if you want to, it's just not that realistic for a guy who did look like a rookie for like the first 4 games.
Bill
that he played.
Belichick.
It helps.
And look how he's looking.
But
saying.
But for me, the MVP, you've got to do it for the course of a whole season. And for the first quarter of the season, Mac Jones was okay to bad. That was his range, and then he's obviously improved.
All right. So who's your MVP right now then?
Right now, first off, I'm shocked Mahomes is on that list, but I think Rodgers has played really well. Kyler has played incredibly well, and I don't think he's missed enough games to eliminate him from that. Like if he comes back and he hasn't missed a beat, picks up right where he left off, I don't see why Kyler can't be in the top portion of that mix.
Yeah, he has to come back strong though.
And I hate to say it, but Josh Allen, if they continue to not play anybody, he's going to be at the top of that.
Thanks, sir. Just sort of playing the Colts. So, yeah.
Well, they're playing the Colts, but like I'm talking about for the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm. Randy, who do you got as your MVP candidate right now?
I think that I think the running back is great, but what if the Chargers turn it around and have a wonderful season? I mean, what Justin Herbert has done this season has been phenomenal for only a second year in the league. So, I mean, he could be up there. I think Dak Prescott, depending on how the Cowboys finish up, they are a quiet 7-2 right now, and they are going to start playing some tougher teams. And I don't think you can ever rule out number 12. I mean, the guy just seems to keep going on and doing great things and leading his team. So those are probably the top guys right now. Of course, Kyler Murray is in the conversation, but he's been injured, and I don't know how that's gonna play out for him.
You got a guy, Ralph?
I really don't. I'm with you. Aaron Rodgers is probably, one of the top. I know you don't like him, but he's probably one of the top guys. But I think Josh Allen, even though I think he hasn't had a great year, his stats say different because of the teams he's played and what he's done. And if we're going to just look at stats, he's probably the number 1 guy right now. And if he continues doing that, he's probably a good shot at winning. I just don't know. I'm not excited about a whole lot of people this year.
And by the way, Justin Herbert, he had a couple of real bummer games. If he had been consistent, I would put him in that top 2 or 3.
Well, I think that's the problem at the moment is that we talked about this yesterday. We don't have a clear number 1 team in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And a part of that is we don't have a clear number 1 quarterback. Like we don't have one guy.
Wait, I've got it. You're all going to agree on this. For MVP, Shohei Ohtani.
That's
agree,
right.
yeah.
He plays 2 sports now.
done.
The sports writers
It's
will
done.
never stop writing his name.
Oh, somebody's head's going to explode. 888-368-1580. Senior Wake and Bake says the Cards are white hot dog doo-doo. Okay. I don't
thank you.
know why you say that. Mr. Pringle says Antonio Brown will probably just get himself a fake MVP card.
Could be.
King of Kittens wants you to know that he was Rookie of the Year once himself. In what sport, friend? Hefty Lefty says it's almost like the MVP for quarterbacks and the offensive player of the year for running backs and wide receivers and tight ends. The MVP is the Cy Young of the NFL now.
Yeah.
It's just the pitcher / quarterbacks.
I would agree with that. Sure.
Seahack says for Jeffrey only. Does that mean I can't read it out loud or?
For Jeffrey only.
Maybe circle back to it. Let them answer that.
Let's put a pin in it and just leave it there and move along.
He says, "Are you working next week?"
For Jeffrey only. That means if you're not here, I'm not listening to those other two fools.
Or it's a very threatening text. So guess what, Seahack? Not anymore. Random texter says, I really think there needs to be an NFC MVP and an AFC MVP. You shut your mouth. Stop it. Colts fan Dan says, I'll start listening to Randy's opinions about the MVP once he starts doing the weather again. Oh, there you go.
I've been doing
Randy's been doing the weather.
You know, we do need a weather report, Randy. I think it's well, it's dark outside. Have you figured out how to do weather when it's dark outside yet? Because I knew that was
a little rough.
It was an issue.
From the Harmon Solar 1580 The Fanatic Weather Center, Chief Meteorologist Randy White reporting. It is getting dark. Dusk has fallen over our fair land. 77 degrees currently in the West Valley. We had a high of about 83 today. Some clouds snuck in. And tonight we're looking for a low around the mid 40s, maybe the low 40s in the outlying valley areas. More clouds tomorrow and a high of 81. Again, currently right now, 77 degrees in the West Valley, 79 degrees in downtown Phoenix, and 79 in Scottsdale. From the 1580 The Fanatic Weather Center, Chief Meteorologist Randy White. Back to you, Jeff Cope.
Thank you, Randy. And Blissful Hayes says, I think what Randy is just trying to say right now is he wants a Shohei Ohtani MVP baseball jersey for Christmas.
Oh, please. Yes.
Put that on the list.
Yeah, please send that to me. Please.
Booger Wolf says, rest in peace, young Dolph. We lost a real one yesterday. Who's Dolph? Is this a real person in real life, Booger Wolf, or are we talking about an athlete that we should know about? He says, many prayers to his family. King of Kittens says, it's time for the King of Kittens action update. I'm not getting any. And that's the King of Kittens action update. Now I'm going to go out and look at the moon.
The way that update was described, it sounds like the opposite of an action update, honestly.
It was
Seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours.
Just the Tip says, y'all were just saying that for baseball MVP, the standing of the team doesn't matter, but for NFL MVP, it does. Oh, listen, Just Tip, I agree. I don't know that that needs to, but a lot of times it does sort of parallel.
I think it does because the sports are different. In Major League Baseball, you are one guy in a lineup of 9. You even if you play well, if the rest of your team stinks, then there's nothing you can do. I mean, look at Mike Trout. He's the walking example. He's been like the best player in baseball when he's healthy for the last decade, and his team is awful. Whereas in football, if you're the MVP, you're probably a quarterback or a running back who touches the ball very often. Your team should be good because if you're good, that's usually what happens in that sport.
Yeah, it's the after effect. Heavy Metal Maniac says, why does Randy call you Jeffco at the end of every weather report? Well, back when we first started doing radio together, back before rocks were soft, I would do these parody commercials with these, horrible products that would maim and disfigure people.
Wobbly-legged furniture outlet.
Right. The Epifella, where it just pulled the hair out of your face like the Epilady did.
Yeah.
And, so I called it Jeffco Industries, making your world just a little bit better. And it was all just a bunch of funny commercials, and it was Jeffco Industries. And so then Randy just picked it up. He's called me that for forever. That's my nickname. And a few other people call me that, but I don't talk to them anymore. Anyway, so that's why Heavy Metal Maniacs. Dribbles says Mac Jones is the MVP of the NFL, like George Harrison is the MVP of the Beatles.
Wow.
Dude, he was an amazing guitar player. And
wow.
Yeah, he was kind of boring. Let's see. By the way, have they released that Beatles thing on the Disney Plus yet? That fat bastard who did the Hobbit movie did he found some footage and he put it all together. It's never before seen footage of them like working on an album, and it's really well shot and looks very, very good. I just don't know if it's been released yet.
Haven't seen it.
I gotta tell you, I start to worry every time I go to Disney Plus and I'm the only one in the room. I'm thinking, is this like a pedophile thing? God, should I be clicking this? I just
what if someone walks in?
There's no kids here, and all of a sudden I'm clicking on Tinkerbell, and then somebody's gonna have some questions, you know. But I guess inside the Disney Plus, they got all the Marvel movies, they got the Star Wars movies, and then of course then they'll have this Peter Jackson sort of movie about the Beatles. It looks good. It does look good. Did you watch the Paul McCartney and some old bastard on Hulu thing? I think it's called Paul McCartney and the Old Bastard.
You know what? I have it saved in my thing. I haven't gotten to watch it.
3, 2, 1. The old bastard sits there and does this with Paul McCartney as they listen to tape. If you think I'm kidding, I watched all of it. It was fascinating, but I'm like, who is this guy? And why is Paul McCartney hanging out with him? That was worth it, you know, if you like the Beatles at all. I'm just saying. So if anybody knows, let me know, and then I'll go look. What? Kyle G says, thinking of tonight's game and wondering why has no one tried to trade for Matt Ryan? Couldn't Indy or Carolina teams like that use him? I'll tell you what, I would have taken Matt Ryan. He's been a consistent quarterback, and I would have been pretty happy to see that. But not now. Now I'm like, I think we'll hold him with Carson Wentz for a minute. Yeah. I think we'll do that.
And for a lot of money, by the way. If you traded Matt Ryan, you'd be picking up his massive contract.
Okay, forget that. Nope. Forget that whole thing.
Never mind.
Yep. Puts the lotion in the basket, says, anything about the moon tonight? I don't know. It's out there. Is it like some sort of a partial eclipse or something?
Oh, I thought I read about that. Yeah, I think there is.
Keon, you're the resident nerd. What's going on?
Not my area of expertise.
Well, you're a horrible nerd.
Yeah, I know. You know, when it comes to the movies and the music and the stuff, I'm there.
Randy does the weather on the Earth, not the moon, Ralph.
But I mean, still, if he's a meteorologist, he should know about the moon.
Well, the moon doesn't have anything to do with the rain and the wind and the tides and the
Of course it does.
Hey, Randy, what do you know about the eclipse and stuff?
Well, there is an eclipse expected, a partial eclipse, but I don't know if you'll be able to see it very well here. I did see that here in the Weather Center, and I am trying to find out more information for you so that I could tell you, more information.
I got Total Eclipse of the Heart banging around in my head, and I hate that song. So we're going to take a break, try to wash that clean.
Eclipse of the Heart.
See, I was trying to. Well, that's perfect. Yeah, that sounds just like her. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Are you a planner? Bruce Jacobs here asking, do you like to plan ahead? Then, of course, you already have a plan to call Harmon Solar, right? Should be at the top of your list to get solar now and enjoy huge savings next summer, up to 85% off your monthly bill. Then you can plan what to do with all that extra money. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar at 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
Hi, Randy here from the Ray Setup. Ever hear of Built Bar? It's the protein bar that tastes like a candy bar. Built is also the official partner of NASCAR, so you know it's the real deal. It's low in calories, low in sugar, high in protein. But you won't believe how good it tastes. They have all sorts of flavors like coconut almond, mint brownie, raspberry, cookies and cream, and double chocolate. My favorite. Where do you get them? At built.com. Use code Randy10 and get 10% off your order. Randy10 for 10% off at built.com.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears Radio Hour. In the show, we try to teach the tools, rules, and strategies that traders and investors need to do better with their wealth and portfolio income. But most of the time, an hour is just not long enough. At Online Trading Academy, we believe that the average person should be given the tools, rules, and strategies that Wall Street's elites have been using for years to outperform others. Are you one of the millions that have recently established a trading account? Or have you always wanted to trade or take a more active role in guarding and growing your own wealth, but have not had the know-how or confidence? We want to invite you out to a complimentary 3-hour power trading and investing workshop, where you'll learn what it is that the professionals use to limit their risks and maximize their possible gains in both trading and investing. To register, call 8448-TRADER. That's 844-887-2337, or text the word stocks to 25029. Again, that's stocks to 25029. Reserve your seat now.
Hi, this is Bruce Jacobs from my friends and former employers at ProCopy. For over 20 years, ProCopy has provided Arizona companies with the best office equipment available from companies like Ricoh. More importantly, they provide outstanding service after the sale with a 96% retention ratio and award-winning technicians. 3 years ago, they joined the Flex Technologies Group, an Arizona-based nationwide group of companies that share ProCopy's commitment to excellence. So if you have branches anywhere in the United States or just here in Arizona, you can get great personalized service even during the current climate. We use them here at the Fanatic and Money Radio KFNN, and they never disappoint because they remain a local company. They give back to our community by supporting ASU and the Thunderbirds through the Phoenix Open. The ProCopy Foundations has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. That makes doing business with ProCopy good for your business. Just give them a call at 602-ProCopy. That's 602-776-2679.
We know how it goes. You can't always tune in and hear your favorite shows and hosts.
Dude, look, I'm a loser. Okay?
It's cool, bro. That's why we post podcasts of your favorite shows and hosts. Listen when you want to. Listen on demand.
That is great and frankly kind of amazing.
Go to 1580thefanatic.com to download.
Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Yeah, King of Kittens, cleavage distracts all of us. What's your point? It says cleavage distracts me. The eclipse is between 1 and 4 a.m. or something like that. I'm going to be sleeping.
It'll be the longest lunar eclipse in over 600 years.
Yeah, tomorrow morning, early, Randy's Weather News TV friends are going to have to tell me about it. I ain't getting up for that. Wiggy McPiggy says, yep, just checked. It was the Disney Channel. I am hooked up. He says, my nephew hooked me up with one of those jailbreak sticks, and I don't know what channel I was watching, but it was the Beatles thing, and it was a good show. Oh, so it is out. It's out. It's out now. Oh, looking forward to it. Let's see. The Jet says, hey, Jeffrey, once upon a time, I was falling in love, but now I'm only falling apart. I think that sounds like a total eclipse of the heart, Jet. Senior Wake and Bake says, hey, Ralph, does Boss Lady crack the whip on you often?
No, not really. No. I mean, I can tell you no, and I'm not going to, she'll tell you different. I cracked the whip on her, to be honest with you, but
do you?
And now she'll be texting in the last 20 minutes.
Do you? Big George says, wait, I'm confused. Will there be shows next week? I sincerely hope so. Yes, there will be shows. Maybe not this one all the time, but there will be shows. Okay, so here's what's happening next week. Daily Blender will be on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. On Thursday, it's nothing but NFL games morning till night because Thanksgiving. And then on Friday, we will not be here. It'll all be CBS Sports Radio or the VSiN Network. So we're taking the time off. Then the morning show is off. I believe the main event is off, and this show is off as well. So it's the day after Thanksgiving. We're going to be hungover and very fat, and we don't want to. Well, we don't want to take it out on you guys. Let's see. Moist One says Disney Plus isn't suspect, Jeffrey, but that cabinet you bought from Wayfair is. I don't understand that joke. Should I not have read that?
I don't know. I'm concerned about the specificity of it too. That's the part that's killing me.
I'm sure it's hilarious. Let's never do that again. Now I'm a little bit worried. All right. So what do you say we get some business done here, before things get out of hand? Maybe we'll get some Wheel of Sports going. Right now it's time for On This Day in Big George's Sports History. Back in the year 1949, Brooklyn Dodgers second baseman Jackie Robinson made history, becoming the first African-American baseball player to win the MVP award. It was the legend's third season in the league, during which he hit a league-high 342, led the majors with 37 stolen bases and tallied 124 RBIs. Back to me, Jeffrey.
What a player.
But did he pitch? But did he pitch?
Yeah, did he pitch? Is he really an MVP?
He shouldn't have won the MVP because he couldn't pitch. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. And now it's time for On This Date in Big George's old-timey sports history. Back in the year 1928, Walt Disney released Steamboat Willie, the first animated film with sound to feature Mickey Mouse. Okay, I don't want to do it like this, but stop the music. It is a cool story, but it's too long to do in a voice. And there is an actual sports connection. Why did Big George talk about Walt Disney Steamboat Willie? Well, because when that became successful, it made Mickey into this iconic character, and it made Walt Disney very rich. Yeah. And when he was rich, he's a huge fan of baseball, it turned out. And he had box seats to the Hollywood Stars minor league club, later the Los Angeles Dodgers when they moved from Brooklyn. He's a huge baseball fan. So he also set up a baseball field at his studio so his animators and workers could relax and have fun, blow off a little steam. And he'd actually come out there and join them on occasion and play baseball. So that is why in 1928, Walt Disney releasing Steamboat Willie mattered to baseball.
Wow.
It's kind of cool.
That's where it all began, man.
Yeah, kind of cool.
Yeah.
I never knew that about that. So it may not be sports history, but it's kind of, I don't know. It's a stretch, George. History. It's a stretch, but okay. Thundar the San Barbarian says, just got home and turned on YouTube to see Jeffrey and Ralph engaged in the Battle of the Beards. He says, I think Jeffrey had a head start, but Jeffrey's is tinged with a little more gray. Well, some of it's the lighting, but yeah, I mean, listen, I'm 51. I got a little gray in there. On a sports note, stick with Joe Burrow on my fantasy team or take a chance with Russell Wilson back in full form.
Russell. Take Russell.
Do not take Russell.
Take
I'll
Russell.
tell you why. And it's nothing against Russell Wilson. I'm a fan of Russell Wilson. Here's the deal. Except for the crying. I'm so proud of my boys. Shut up. Arizona Cardinals defense might be the number one defense in all the land. If not, it's number two. Am I okay on that one?
No.
I'm not asking you. I wasn't
Not
looking at
even
you. I was looking
close.
at Keon over there.
They are still a top defense. Let me go ahead and
A
get you the
top
exact-
defense at least.
Top of what?
But the Cincinnati Bengals are going up against the Raiders, and they can be hit and miss. And Burrow, he can turn it on. So personally, I'd say Burrow.
My recommendation is take Russ.
Yours is always take Russ. You
Take
can't.
Russ.
You're not a credible source of information.
This will be a good stats game for him.
King Kitten says, "Wow, Jeffrey, I'd never heard of the Hollywood Stars baseball team." Uklamak says, "Oh my God, Radio Pal's taking a day off. Wow, what a surprise!"
Cardinals, by the way, top 10 defense
in
total yards allowed.
Oh, okay. I thought they were better than that.
They were, but the last couple of games,
They lost 2 out of 3. They're starting to suffer a little bit. Did they just get blown out?
Geno Smith, 888-368-1580.
Yeah,
just throwing out things to hurt Ralph. Oh, don't say Geno.
The
Why?
Seahawks, by the way, ranked 27th.
They were 31st, so that's not bad.
And you were trying to convince me
Slight
earlier
improvement.
that the defense was good. Oh, brother.
They give up a lot of yards. They just don't give up a lot of points.
All right. So listen, we've got a few minutes here before Thursday night football. Patriots playing the Falcons. And well, I think we should spin the wheel, Randy. What do you say? Spin a while. See what we talk about next. Oh, okay. So Brett Favre, he missed a deadline to pay $284,000 he still owed to the state of Mississippi. That whole thing where they paid him to do some PSAs and appearances that he never did. It's not his fault that he didn't do them. They just never came around and asked for it. Then somebody found out somebody had misappropriated some welfare funds, and they're like, hey, we're going to have that money back, please, because people need it for welfare. And
he has not paid it back yet.
No, he took forever. Okay, now he had $1.1 million. And when this all came out in May of 2020, there's like, well, here's $500,000. I'll pay you the rest Tuesday. And Tuesday came and went, and he's like, hey, where's the money? He's like, well, I didn't say this Tuesday. Okay, well, we're going to need that money back, man. We need the money. And so it took forever, and then he came back around and he paid some more, and then he paid some more. And now he has a $228,000 balance on that. And of course, there's interest. There has to be interest. And well, he missed his deadline. I don't know what happens now. I don't know what happened. Did they come and arrest him?
They put a lien on his house.
They would arrest me.
Yeah,
they
would.
definitely arrest Ralph.
Already have. I mean, yeah.
I'm guessing the rules are a bit different if your name is Brett Favre. So I don't know.
In Mississippi. Well, they're saying he's not facing criminal charges, but there's some individuals involved with this mess. Were charged with embezzlement and funneling millions of dollars of federal welfare funds to for-profit education. Jeez. Excuse me.
Wow.
So it can't be long before somebody starts to maybe press a charge against the old Brett Favre.
He might want to pay that.
Come on, man. Just one more Copperfit ad and you're done with this. Spin the wheel, Randy. So, in the Big 12, there's a team called Texas Tech. Are you familiar with that?
I am familiar with the Red Raiders of Texas Tech. Yeah.
And their play-by-play guys were calling the game, and they started to feel, well, the way a lot of us feel when we're watching a game, and the way a lot of coaches feel when they're watching a game, a lot of players feel. They were not happy with the officiating, and it got bad. They were openly saying, these guys suck. Oh, this is horrible officiating. And they were so upset by the bad. Now, keep in mind, Texas Tech was winning, but Utah was making a comeback, and all the calls were going against Texas Tech. And they're like, it really does look like they're favoring the other team for whatever reason. And they were mad as hell about it. It's so mad, they said, well, here's a list of all the names of this officiating crew, and you guys should tell them what you think about this. And they were just going on and on every play. Oh, here we go again. All these guys. Bob Bowlesby needs to answer for this. This is ridiculous. The inconsistency of this referee crew in favor of, Iowa State. Unbelievable. And this went on for, most of the game. And it just, it transcended anything you've ever heard on play-by-play before. All right, a little critical, like, well, I don't see how that's a foul, but okay. I mean, sometimes you hear that in play-by-play. You hear it even on national TV. Yep. These guys were like, your guys should be mad. You should go down on the field. You should punch a guy in the throat. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but okay, they never said that. They were really going off on this. They were saying, I understand the roles of play-by-play and a color analyst, but however, University of, that wasn't what they said. That was them getting yelled at. I was looking at the wrong line. Yeah, but still, I'll say it right now. The Big 12 does not want Iowa State to lose this game. So they're blaming the officiating crew for doing the will of the Big 12.
Oh boy.
And basically Tim Donahue this game. And so they were mad at them. They were mad at the refs. They were mad about where some of the students were. And because now I remember a lot of kids will listen to this stuff. A lot of boosters will listen to stuff. When they started talking like this, Texas Tech students started throwing trash on the field. And it was after an interception was overturned. It was a red zone thing. So the officials then gave unsportsmanlike conduct call to the Red Raiders because of the students. And so then they were told they had to leave the stadium. They had to leave two sections. So it was crazy, but these guys did not help the matters at all. It just going on there and blaming the refs for, throwing the game.
Yeah.
I don't understand what the Big 12 gains out of Iowa State winning that game in particular. Iowa State would have improved to 7-2. That's not going to be enough for a college football playoff spot, which is what the Big 12 really, really wants. But I will agree with them. The Big 12 officiating has been really bad this year. I just don't know if you cross the line when you start giving out the names of officials and saying, do something about it. Because who knows what some crazy person might do, or
college football. Yeah.
Even a more sane person. I remember there was an official that blew a call in an Auburn game one time when I was back out in Georgia. And people found this guy's business that he ran and they were just giving him 1-star reviews to just bomb his business, on Yelp and stuff. I mean, it goes too far, which is why as a broadcaster, you got to be more careful with that.
Maybe they should give the referees like American Gladiator names, so nobody knows who they really are. Nitro, Laser might be a good way to help protect them. I don't know. A part of me agrees with these guys for calling it like they see it, but the other part's like, you
but
got to be a little more
ins-
responsible here.
yeah, don't incite violence, and that's a dry county over there too. Those people are already angry.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's not even piss them
We
off.
gotta be
more.
here. We can't even drink. Spin the wheel, Randy. I think we get another one in here. I don't know if this is real or just another one of Shaquille O'Neal's things, but he says that he was originally offered the part in the Green Mile to play John Coffey. You know, Michael Clark Duncan played him, did a great job, but Shaq was saying that he was supposed to do it.
I doubt it.
I can't picture that though.
I can't picture it either.
Not after seeing
Tired-
Shazam.
Most of them tired of people being ugly to each other. I'm tired of all the pain I feel in the world every day. I'm tired, boss.
I don't think his performance in Shazam
Yeah.
puts him in a nominated movie role. No, I don't think
Wow, Shaq.
I'm
Good
just
for you.
tired of being on the road and then tired of never having a buddy be with me. Tell me what I'm coming from.
so.
All right, guys, that's it for us. Coming up next, Westwood One's got you for Patriots at Falcons. We'll be back on your radio again tomorrow at 3 p.m. Ralph, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys next time. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for healthcare. And here's why. Not only is it time for open enrollment for a lot of people, it's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual.